Hey Joe, what is your favorite hand-based contact sports game revealed in the Nintendo Direct? Almost said something really inappropriate. Obviously the Thumb War, yeah. Let's go to? Yep. It's some stiff competition though. Elo Joe, Elo Kaylee Girl. Happy birthday. Director's dog shit, huh? Yeah, well, I don't know. Dog shit, no. I don't think so. There was, if you're a weeb, it was really good, right? There was a, they loved their Xenoblade, they loved their Fire Emblem, they probably loved their Dragon Warrior monsters, so. Just not much there for normal people like me. How much do you dread the Three Houses sequel? Not all. I don't give a fuck about that series. Like, I'm gonna do my time with Three Houses and that's it. And like the only way I'm ever gonna play any other Fire Emblem game is if I like Three Houses. So if I like Three Houses, then hey, it's a win, because then I get a new game series to enjoy. And if I don't, then fuck it, I don't have to play it, right? What if it gets nominated? It's not. Don't have to worry about that at all. Don't worry about it. Do 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 bada bum 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 do 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 do. Man, I hate summer. It's too hot. We get scorpions in summer? Holy shit. I don't like scorpions. Favorite season? Probably winter. If I was somewhere else, then spring and fall are better because it's more temperate, and I don't really like the ice. But winter, I don't know, there's something nice about winter. Feeling so parasocial right now. Sorry, Buggy. Is the new house nice? Nope, we're not taking that place. Have to find another one. Got a couple more to look at though, so we'll see. Might have to stay here for another month or two and wait it out. Can we go over an in-depth media discussion before starting Grace Change today? Yes, we can. All right, so here's the problem, okay? So, and we have the perfect audience to answer this question, okay? I don't understand that when you make a fictional world that has animal people, how the prey animal people get along with the predator animal people. Like, I don't get it. Like, one of you will eat the other one. Why is it okay? How is, are they just pretending, or is there like a certain animals that don't have sentience that they eat, or what? Everyone's talking about Beastars. Okay. They eat fish. I was watching a video about fish recently, and it was all about deep sea fish. And there was this fucking jellyfish that had It's like a ribbon jellyfish. It has like huge ribbons that like just collect things, and it looked fucking sweet. And then it showed this gigantic squid octopus thing that had the longest arms that I've ever seen any animal have ever, and I did not like it at all. I don't like that exists. I don't want to know any more about that thing. Colossal squid? No, it wasn't a colossal squid. It was something else. It was basically 99% arms. And then it showed like a deep sea snail fish, which was very cute. That was a cute fish. And then it showed some rocks from the bottom of the trench, and I'm like, okay. And then it's talked about how James Cameron went down there. I'm like, oh yeah, that did happen, didn't it? Yeah. Beastars is one of the dumbest manga of all time. I gave it a 5 out of 10 when I finished it, and now I want to move it up to an 8 out of 10 because it's just so entertaining. Okay. Big fin squid? Hold on. The squid or octopus with the gigantic long arms that has only been spotted a few times deep in ocean. Big fin squid, yeah, that's it. The big fin squid. This thing can fuck off. I don't like this thing. I don't like it. Would you beat a squid in a thumb war? Absolutely, they don't have thumbs. How are we enjoying this music? Okay, would you win in a fist fight? Absolutely, they don't have fists. I would lose a tentacle fight. Looks like something out of Abiotic Factor. There's a water monster in Abiotic Factor that I never saw. So I don't know if it glitched out in a weird way, or if you're supposed to see it at some point and I just glitched out the script or whatever, but there's a whole area that's underwater that's meant to have this fucking monster in it, and I never saw it. I went in that water I don't know how many fucking times, and I never saw the monster. Largest mammal you could be in a fight? Don't ask me this question, because you know I'm not going to be able to resist not saying your mom, and then I look like a deranged lunatic that is 40 years old still making your mom jokes, okay? No. It's the questioner's fault. No. You control the jokes you make? I don't actually. No, that is not how comedy works. Dalmek, back me up. Dalmek, tell him. Dalmek, tell him. No, I don't. Good news, they added pod racing and Mount Susanna 1 for you. Yeah, I saw the when they jumped on the jet ski in the ocean. That looked rough. They just kind of appear. Let's get new music. For fuck's sake. Hello, darkness, smile, friend. All right, so what happened? My name is Ryo Nusiki Naruhodo. I'm a fledgling lawyer just starting out on my journey. 6 months ago, I arrived as a visiting student of law, having made the long voyage across the sea from the Empire of Japan to here, London, England. And on the way, in quite extraordinary circumstances, I made the acquaintance of a world-famous detective. Currently, I reside in the attic of the detective's own lodgings, from where I run my legal consultancy, of sorts. I've successfully defended a number of clients in Britain's highest court, the Old Bailey, but since a particularly grueling and unforgettable legal battle 4 months ago now, I haven't returned to the courtroom. Okay, so is he talking about the last case from the first one, or did he do another one after that? In truth, I lost my right to return. Okay, did he lose it because it went badly for him in the courtroom, or did he lose it afterwards, after the victory? But that epic trial was just one small part of an epic tale, a tale which is now about to awaken from slumber, thanks to a letter that arrived this morning from my homeland. And now I'm going to hit the button, and we're going to get music. It's experimental. Mmm, what a delicious smell wafting up the stairs. It must be nearly time for breakfast. I better go down to Mr. Sholmes' suite and say good morning to the great detective and his flatmate. '30th of August, 7:28 a.m. Sholmes' suite. There we go. How is the music? Is it too loud? Is it too quiet? Is it just Goldilocks just right? It's nice music. Hey Joe, you catch the Backrooms movie? Even if you haven't, I'm curious to hear your thoughts on it since it's made such big waves lately. How can I do that? What do you mean? Alright, okay. I really liked it when they went into the room, especially the one at the back, and then there was more than one of them. And I really enjoyed how they presented the rooms. It was quite compelling. I don't want to give spoilers, obviously, but we all know what I'm talking about. That one room was way better than the other rooms. And it kind of peaked a little early when they showed that room. And the rooms after that room weren't as good. So I feel like they should have held that room back for the end of the movie. And, like, maybe not the very end, but, like, you know, 80% instead of showing it at 66%. And then, you know, and then when the pirate showed up, the pirate, I feel like they really missed the mark with the pirate, and I feel like maybe the pirate shouldn't have been there at all, and then they should have had more rooms instead of the pirate, and then yeah, and also saved more for. I feel like they should have put all the rooms on a storyboard and then figured out which rooms were the best rooms and which were the worst rooms, and they should have put them in a sequence that made it so they showed like 70% best rooms at the beginning and then dipped down to the worst rooms and then just best rooms from then on in sequential order, so it's always getting better after the opening. That's what I feel like they should have done. But instead they didn't, and instead it was like a bell curve and it peaked at like too close to the middle, and then the back half of the movie was more room than it should have been, is what I think about back rooms. Yeah. Also, the acting was good. Really like the cinematography. It was well lit. I could see everything that was going on except for that one part, obviously. But you're not meant to be able to see when that's going on. I could understand what the characters were saying to each other, so it's better than Christopher Nolan's movie. Yeah. So there you go. I haven't seen it out of 10. Did you see the Persona 6 teaser? If I haven't, do you still want me to react to it? There is actually a pirate. I actually do know there is a pirate because Weeaboo Bill told me on the weekend that they really didn't do a good job with the pirates. Asterix, he also hasn't seen it. I don't know what the fuck the pirate is, but yeah. When can we do a stream? As I've told you before, and this isn't a joke, so it's actually kind of fucked up. Like, if Weeaboo came on stream, I wouldn't be allowed to stream ever again after that. You would not like Weeaboo Bill, okay? No. So I'm not kidding. He has his funny moments, and I've been friends with him for a long time. But like no. Problematic friends? Huh? Oh yeah, for sure. Did you know that people used to play the mobile version of The Greatest Hits with a fan-made English patch for the PC version existed? It's higher quality 3DS version. Really? I think it's interesting when fan translations are better than the official ones. I wonder how that happens. Can we have a collab stream with Bill, but only you can hear him? Let me tell you, there have been times where I have been talking with Bill and I have had to alt-tab out to make sure that I have not accidentally left OBS on somehow. And even though I checked at the beginning of the conversation, I then go check 5 more times throughout the conversation. Oh, fucking hell. Your response, I guess what I meant to say was that I'm curious about your thoughts with internet culture and memes going to be extreme and making hundreds of millions of box office. I can't answer, like, in all seriousness, I can't answer either, because I didn't know anything about the backrooms until the movie. Like, maybe I'd heard it in passing and I knew about it kind of, but I never was into that sort of thing. The only thing in that area that I think that I've ever been into is probably SCP, and even then I only, read it a bit, like the first couple hundred. What's Bill's take on Silent Hill 2? I think he likes Silent Hill 2. He prefers Resident Evil, but he did play the Silent Hills as they came out. Favorite SCP? The one that refines things that you put inside of them. I thought that was an interesting concept. Is Weebu Bill about Chie or Rise? Yukiko. And in Persona 3, Chihiro. He hasn't played Reload though, so he's talking about original Persona 3. Persona 5. The reporter that you meet at the bar. Actually, you know what? That might be doing him dirty. He did say that he liked her for some reason, but that might not be his top choice. Maybe the conversation just went there. This conversation happened many, many years ago, so yeah. Chihiro. Okay, who's last person to thank you to? It was Nick Bottom. So now we have a new spread that we can start reading. I am very tired. I didn't realize how tired I was until I went out and got food. I'm gonna do my best to read, but it should be okay. We might stream for like only maybe 4 hours today instead of 5, or maybe even 3. But hopefully we can get to somewhat close to the murder or whatever happens. But we'll see how it goes. Yeah. And in all seriousness, I misread something last week, and I'm sorry about that. I've been joking about it because I feel uncomfortable about it, but like obviously this happens. I'm surprised it hasn't happened before, to be honest. The chances of that happening more go up when I'm tired, so I'm a little bit worried about it, and now my mind is playing things don't say certain words. So it should be fine. But yeah, I do just want to address it. Like, yeah, that was unfortunate. So sorry. Shit happens. Thank you, Buy My Statue, for the 16 months with Joms. Thank you, Stanley G23. Oh, that rhymes with a new sub. Thank you very much when we started. Thank you very much. Thank you, Stolen Titan. Sorry, my window was messed up for a second. Thank you, Stolen Titan, for the 3 months with oh god, my body is red. By who? If only Reggie was there to do the thumb war, he could have done a my thumb is ready joke. That would have been good. Thank you, Tadict. Not Tacit. Tadict for the 17 months. Thank you very much. Amaryl for the 10 months too with you can't tune a fish. You can't download a car. Tune a fish. You can't tune a fish. It's true, yeah. Thank you, The Weapon, for the bits. Muramasa is the first game that Vanillaware, makers of 13 Sentinels, is putting on PC. Please everyone buy it so the dumb dinosaurs running the company get it through their skulls that PC is worth it. Muramasa. Muramasa. Oh, is that the game that everyone said looked like it was the 13 Sentinels people earlier? And I said it was, it looked like, Odin Sphere? I didn't see that that their name came up. I guess it was them. Alright, yeah, it is Vanillaware? Okay. I want them to make another game like 13 Sentinels, please. 13 Sentinels is really, really good. It didn't end all that well, but it didn't end horrifically. You know what I mean? Like, the ending was just kind of like, oh, okay. Whereas usually those games end with like hair pulling, oh my god, what the fuck are you talking about? So I think it's better to just end it with like a, oh, okay, than it like cliff facing over and over and over again. But until the end, like I don't know, man. That was a really, really well told story. I enjoyed that a lot, and the presentation was excellent too. It was really good. But hair pulling is good? Okay. First of all, calm down, you're on main. Second of all, not that kind of hair pulling. Thank you, Hello It's Mouse, for the 100 bits. I have purchased actual bits to inform chat that Rhythm Heaven is peak and you shouldn't listen to Joe slander. I have not yet begun to slander Rhythm Heaven, but yeah, okay. If you want to... Apologize for what? Saying it doesn't look very good to me? Alright, I apologize for not enjoying a video game that I haven't played. I was so mad you rage me so hard. What the fuck did I do? The stream is already off the rail. Most of them are. Thank you, Garnixie? Garn11 for the 5 months. Thank you very much. Thank you, Dalmec, for the 78 months with the message. Kind of impressive that Nintendo opened the Direct with Rhythm Heaven. It's nice that they're giving indies a platform by showcasing the first Rick and Morty tie-in game. Thank you, Escherichia Coil Enjoyer. That's a very specific thing to enjoy. For the 4 months, thank you very much. Thank you, Gigi, this stream with a beautiful Joms with flowing hair. Thank you very much for the 32 months. I love the creative use of emotes. Thank you, Pinball4660 for the 2 months with a bunch of dancing and whistling. The dancing emotes go hard. And the last 3 are Edicus, Doge Wow, and Mojo Maker 22. Edicus with 84 months of the message. Hey Joe, happy to be here. Hope your day goes well from this point forward. I'm gonna read Grace Attorney and then I'm gonna go to sleep. That's what the rest of my day is gonna be. I've eaten twice. I don't need to eat again. I'm gonna feed Gatsby again, and then I'm going to take him out, and then I'm probably gonna go to bed right afterwards. I'm looking forward to laying down. I haven't been awake for too long though. I've been awake for 12 hours at this point. But I was awake for 24 hours before that, and I didn't sleep more than 7. So I should have had a much bigger sleep, and I couldn't fall back to sleep after 7 hours. It was very, very a lot of anxiety sleep, probably because I was there for too long. Take him out. I took him out before the stream, but I'm gonna take him out again. After the stream, obviously. Thoughts on Sorcerer's Dragon's Crown? Asking since Vanillaware mentioned. I haven't played Dragon's Crown. I think the Sorcerer's design is crazy, but I also think every other design in that game is also crazy. So it's meant to be exaggerated, like, kind of weeb comic book sort of style, right? And I think exaggerated proportions definitely have their place in art. I like that it's even between them all. That it's like everyone is fucking insane in that universe apparently. But I don't know how it lands within the game because I haven't played it. So maybe it's worse for her than it's for everyone else. Without Googling what season is Rick and Morty on? 8? This is on 8? Season 8? I think I saw a trailer pop up on my feed, so I might be cheating. 9? I was close, damn. Thank you, Doge Wow, for the 3 months with Oomfuri's theme. Oomphy Boomfy's theme. Oomfuri's theme. Thank you, Doge Wow. With a Clover, thank you for the good luck. And Mojo Maker 22, 17 months. Wish I could read. Oh, I have to do voices. Oh, God. Wish I could read. Thankfully, the streamer does it for me. Actually, we might not get to a trial today, so you might not have to do voices today. So let's see. Okay, this is a gamepad game, right? And the sound's okay? The music's not too loud? I would like a fully voice-acted Ace Attorney game. I think it's a crime that Danganronpa gets more voice acting than Ace Attorney. Oh, thank you, Herodroid, for the new sub 2. Welcome, Herodroid. That's an interesting name. Ah, Runo, good. I was just about to call up to you. The bacon's ready. Good morning, Iris. It smells delicious as usual. Bacon every morning. Before we eat, though, I have some news. I had a surprise this morning. Shh, not another word, Mr. Naruhodo. He's back! Best boy's back. This could be just the abstruse thing for my pre-breakfast stagnation repelling mental stimulation, my dear fellow. Morning to you too, Mr. Sholmes. Ah, yes, I see. so that's it. The The truth is as clear to me as day. My faculties of observation have revealed it again. What are you talking about? You, Mr. Naruhodo, you, at this very morning, met with a surprise. Well, is that not the case? Really, my dear fellow, it barely warrants explanation. Firstly, your hair is particularly unkempt, somewhat reminiscent of a bird's nest. Secondly, you have neglected to fasten the third button of your jacket. Clearly, when considered together, these two facts point to you having been flustered this morning. Can I talk now? Are we gonna do a dance of deduction about ourselves? Oh, the machine is back! Oh, because you pawned it and you brought it back. Always be pawning, that's true. I wonder what you pawned instead. I wonder if the pawn shop is ever gonna come back. But of course, though I don't look for admiration, you understand. My hair always looks like this. It's been this way since I first met you. Oh, it has? And the button was ripped off last night, if you remember. By you. Really pulled your button off? And then he pushed it back in. Ooh. Yeah, yes, I recall the incident now. It was after supper, was it not? As the evening advanced, I picked up my violin and began to play the wailing notes of a haunting tune. But then, to my utter dismay, the third string snapped. Why'd that have to happen? Why? Little wonder then that in my vexation, I grabbed the first button I saw and ripped it from its proper place. Well, I'd like it back now, please. It's troubling me that I can't fasten my jacket. And it's troubling me that you expect me to know where it is. Somewhere thereabouts on the floor, one presumes. Helpful. I feel bad for Ryo. He must be missing Susie terribly, and he's here all by himself. Kazuma fucking dies on the way here, and Susie's pretty much like his whole entire world, and then she has to go too. And I think he likes Stroms and Iris, but like still, like it's different than, you know, like very, very sudden to just like abandoned in this country. What matters at the present time, my dear fellow, is simply whether or not my deduction was an erring. But Hurley, Runo said it when he came in, didn't he? I had a surprise this morning. Well, that really is a surprise. Still better than BBC Sherlock, apparently. Yes, this man is the pride of the British Empire, the famous consulting detective, Mr. Sherlock Sholmes. There can't be a single person in the world who doesn't know his name. The TV series was alright. I thought it was alright too. It does go off the rails, and there are some episodes that are really bad, but yeah. I still thought it was entertaining. Alright then, enough of this silly conversation. Come and eat this bacon before it goes cold. Season 4 fucking sucked. Season 4 did fucking suck, yeah. And I have a new herbal tea for you to try too. My latest special blend. Remember that part where Sherlock Holmes, one of the most observant people in the whole entire world, doesn't realize that there isn't a pane of glass in the window? While standing in front of it for like, I don't know, like 10 fucking minutes? And here we have Iris Wilson, Mr. Sholmes' lodger and companion. A truly exceptional young girl who's the author of a highly successful serialization here in London. Yes, The Adventures of Sherlock Sholmes is published in Rance Magazine. Oh yeah, Rance Magazine. So, Mr. Naruhodo, won't you put us out of our misery? What surprised you this fine morning? Well, I received a letter from Japan. Oh, from Susie, you mean? Was it really? That's right. And she has some rather startling news, in fact. Is it about how she knew about the fucking book in the pawn shop? Because I'm still wondering, and I hope that we're not gonna, you know, not know about that forever and ever and ever in Gay Band. Ah, intriguing indeed. You must tell us about it over breakfast. Oh yes, what fun. Oh god, nothing particular of note. How do I look around? Oops, long-ass message. It's probably hard for us to imagine how alienating it would feel to be across the world from your home country in an era where internet, TV, telephones, etc. don't exist. Even mail would take weeks or months to reach anyone back home. You can't go to a local Japanese goods store or whatever to get a taste of home. It's probably very difficult for you to be alone. I went through something kind of like that the first time I moved to Canada from the UK, and then again when moving back to the UK from Canada, because the internet wasn't really around at that point, or was just very, very new. Yeah. You going to check, Joe? Isn't it going to be new stuff? That machine really is imposing, isn't it? But I can never remember its name. Really calls it his great analytoscope. It can analyze anything at all. That doesn't really help me. What does analyzing something even mean? Ah, an extremely astute question, Mr. Naruhodo. Sorry? I think it's easier for a kid because you don't really have a lot of stuff established at that point. Yeah. Well, as Iris said, my machine here spits out analysis results of anything with which you care to present it. But how to interpret those results, that's the key, and I confess I have no idea. Clearly, I'm going to have to construct a great analytoscope to solve the problem. Didn't he say that last time? That might not help. Maybe it's the same things as last time, we can skip through them. Let's see. Oh, we can't do that. Man, I'm worried I'm not going to like Deltarune. Ah yes, Mr. Sholmes' faithful musical companion. Wasn't this violin made by somebody famous? Yes, it's a Stradivarius. Though I'm afraid you'd have to save up for 100 years before you could afford one, Runo. But didn't you buy it for a song, Mr. Sholmes? I found it at a pawnbrokery among the forfeited articles. It clearly said Stradivarius on the label. What? The ignorant broker had no idea of its true value, you see, so I paid a mere 55 shillings for it. Yes, I have something of a turn for shopping. Sherlock Sholmes, bargain hunter. But is it really a Stradivarius then? Who the fuck knows? But of course, my dear fellow, it said so on the label. I think perhaps the ignorant broker had something of a turn for selling. Books, papers, scientific implements. These shelves are stuffed to the gunnels. Miss Susato wouldn't be able to help herself if she were here. She can't stand mess. Susie might not be able to stand mess, but she wouldn't dare touch those shelves. Oh, why not? Everything is in intricate balance. Hurley spends ages on. I really did forget how much she looks like a World of Warcraft gnome. If you were to touch even one thing, the whole lot would come tumbling down. Alright, so H-A-A-H ... is the word of the scene. Okay. Susie noticed it was a very delicate arrangement right from the outset. Make it sound like a meeting of great minds. The truth is, Mr. Sholmes just needs to tidy up. Really, this one? When it gets to this time of year, Londoners seem to leave their hearths alight all day long, and I love it. There's something very relaxing about watching the flames flit and dance about. Isn't it August? But a fireplace in days of summertime is a waste of space. Really, no use at all. Rather like a great detective in days of no crimes and no criminals. Hurley? Consider this. Instead of a fireplace, a frost place. That's my latest idea. Oh, play Don't Starve. An extraordinary hearth from which emanates a cool breeze in the hot summer months. I would love this. What do you think? I think if you invented such a thing, your name would go down in history. The principle is extremely simple. One must, of course, light a cold fire in the hearth. Yes, of course. Brilliant. The trouble is, none of the fires I build ever burn cold. How it taunts me. So, as you British say, it's a bit of a damp squib? Sure. So I see, yeah, but, you know, it should be like a fireplace, so it looks cool. Like, air conditioners don't look cool. Although heat pumps look kind of cool. I don't know. I have an air conditioner on right now. I think you can probably hear it. Sorry if it's making my voice sound a bit tinny. Yes, the huge metal chest with the lace cloth blade on it, being used as a table for tea and coffee. It's very sturdy, that's for sure, and firmly locked shut. The chest contains my father's detailed records of Hurley's many cases. Yes, so I've been led to believe. Though personally, I've never actually seen inside. And you never will, and that's the way it will stay. Those papers are a secret between Daddy and me. If you go opening it uninvited, you might find yourself being bitten. What? Is there a beast inside there or something? Bitten? These are different pieces of evidence for cases you've solved, aren't they, Mr. Sholmes? That looks different on the right there from the first game. Maybe I'm just remembering it differently. Not quite, Mr. Naruhodo, not quite. These trinkets are a selection from cases I've solved with particular aplomb. They are souvenirs of my success. Memories, Mr. Naruhodo. Memories! Really? So tell me about the case in which the bust of the Napoleon featured. I forget. Memories, he says. Wonderful, Mr. Sholmes. Wonderful. Your Stardew Valley house. One room's different. I look forward to finding out what aroma your tea will have, Iris, every single day. Ah, well, I infuse a different concoction of herbs from the garden every time, so it's never the same twice. There's a garden? When you call it a concoction, it sounds more like a science experiment than something for tea time. Oh yes, that's because different blends can have very different properties. This sounds familiar again. Some calm you down, some make you feel jolly, some give you energy. Today's particular blend is something quite special, so you're really in for a treat. That sounds ominous. Did you find Hurley's cocaine? Yes, this is where you note down ideas, isn't it, Iris? What's in the melting pot today? The blue carbuncle. Yes, it's from a case of theft that Hurley solved ages ago, the theft of a precious stone. Carbuncle is another name for a garnet, you see, especially if it's cut with a rounded top. I really like the word carbuncle. It's fun to say, it's fun to read, it looks fun just on its own. Great word, top tier word. Oh really? And this garnet was blue, was it? Well, that's the thing, they're usually red. No blue garnets have ever been discovered. Oh. So who knows what the stolen gemstone actually was? That's the real mystery of the case. Proper Herlock Sholmes conundrum, huh? Am I talking loud enough, by the way, or should I move the microphone a little closer to me? I can type with my eyes shut, you know. I can believe it. When a deadline's approaching, you sound like a Gatling gun. That reminds me of a dream I had the other day. It was such a funny one. It woke me, actually. I was typing for a whole hour in the pitch black, but I didn't make a single mistake. That's incredible. But then, when it got light, I found that there wasn't any paper in the machine. RIP! Now I wonder if I'd actually been typing at all. I think you might just have fallen asleep on the job. That sucks. That sucks so bad. There's, like, doing work can sometimes be difficult. We all know this. Doing work you've already done is 100 times worse. Like if you like lose progress in something, or it didn't save, or like you realize that you made a mistake, you have to do like, oh, I hate having to do something again. All right, so we're talking now. Back. Yeah. Okay. Present. I'm a lawyer. An armband I inherited from Kazuma. It identifies the wearer as a defense lawyer throughout the Empire of Japan. Oh, Mr. Sholmes, about this. Shh, not another word. Yes, I see. He has a stock brace for nothing. This would be a collar for a breed of miniature canine with a particular long... I was wrong, okay. And for winter use. Actually, it's the armband I always wear that symbolizes my role as a defense lawyer. Precisely, which leads us to but one conclusion. Your arm is, in fact, the particularly long neck of a miniature canine. I'm starting to wish I'd never shown him this now. The man's barking mad. Mic is slightly too low when you're tired, but it was the same last Greatest Attorney stream, and you got better once you woke up a bit. Do I really sound that tired? Because I don't feel that tired. I do feel tired, but I don't feel like exhausted or anything like that. I've streamed way more tired than I am right now. I did fall asleep on stream once. That's how tired I was. The Baldur's Gate 3 stream, I'm just gone. Let's see, stream 17 of Baldur's Gate 3, I think. I don't know. When we were in the sewers underneath Baldur's Gate, like I legit fell asleep. So I've been way more tired than I am right now. So yeah, sorry if I sound tired. I'm really interested in where the story goes, so it's not a lack of interest. I was really upset that we couldn't read this more last week, but you know, so it goes. Dude, oh, thank you, Mango Juice XRA for the 10 months. We've just finished Metaphor, but I wish I'd stopped around around the 90% mark. Nice, it lives on. Enjoy having that experience, Switch fans, because it's finally there. Holy shit! And thank you, CMC10 for the 19 months with the Adventures of Hollock Jones. Ah, nice. With Herlock and High IQ Dragon. Thanks. Anything for Yowie? What was the word the narrator described the Metaphor characters with? Complex? In Yeek's stream too, you went for a few minutes in silence a few times because you were that tired and combat was that boring. The combat was really hard. Yeek was nowhere near as bad as everyone said it was going to be, probably because of you know, well, we discussed it at length, so we don't need to go over it, but the combat was as bad as everyone said. The new combat looked way better in the version that Mouse played. Michael. This is the letter that arrived from Japan this morning by International Post. Oh, how lovely. Look at Susie's beautiful writing. I wish I could read it. And how is your judicial assistant faring, may I ask? She's very well, thank you. In fact, according to what she's written, she actually appeared as a lawyer at the Japanese Supreme Court and won a case. Okay, so how long would it take the mail to get here? It's gotta be weeks, right? Ah, really? Oh, isn't she wonderful? Telegraph, it's handwritten, so it had to have been delivered. 2 months? A cut above your good self, my dear fellow. I've won cases too, you know. What year is it? It's late 1800s or something, isn't it? Is that what it said? I can't remember. Yeah, it is definitely late 1800s. It's the Hunt Showdown era. Hunt Showdown's getting some big updates, by the way. They're changing the weapon systems. Bows are now a 3-slot, and things go up to 5 slots now, maybe even 6 slots. It's crazy what they're doing with Hunt Showdown. I know you're all interested. Let's turn the game off and talk about Hunt Showdown for an hour. Like, I can't believe the meta shift that's happened. I've won cases too, you know. Apparently, Mr. Natsumi appeared in the trial as a witness. Natsumi? No, I don't recall that name. Of course you do. You helped the man twice. We helped the man twice. What do you mean twice? You know, in those 2 cases that took place on Briar Road 6 months ago. The mustache twitchy man with the somewhat feline eyes and the mustache? Said mustache twice. You didn't have 2 mustaches, Hurley? Maybe you did. Yes, who could forget those 2 cases? They made a very deep impression on me. Although I must confess, the details are a little hazy now. A very deep impression they made on you, clearly. You know what I hate about having a mustache? I hate it when I have to trim my mustache, but I'm not ready to trim my beard. And then my mustache is like really cut like short and looks really like prim and like proper, like put together. And then the beard below looks fucking crazy compared to that. I hate how it looks. Kind of got like some Amish vibes going on. I don't like it. A very deep impression they made on you, clearly. So, what was this startling news by Miss Susato? Do you remember the case of the haunted lodgings, Mr. Sholmes? Ah, yes, it's very interesting, you know. I don't feel entirely uncertain that a case of that nature did not occur. He's totally forgotten then. Anyway, in her letter, Miss Susato asks that we need to read over her case notes again and investigate further. Though it took place half a year ago, for what purpose? Because of something that Mr. Natsumi said to her, apparently. He suggested that the real reason why she was called back to Japan so suddenly might have something to do with that case of the haunted lodgings. Oh? On Mr. Natsumi's return to Japan, Miss Suzada's father questioned him about the case, she says. And something Mr. Natsumi said appeared to trouble Professor Mikotoba, prompting him to send that telegram, where he pretended to be sick to get her to come home? Oh, that case, yes. Okay, so this is not the case that became the Hound of the Baskerville thing then, because then Ryu would know about it too. So it's, and not just Susie. So how does Susie know about the book? It was very strange, wasn't it? Yes. God, I'm such a sucker for an asked question that has like no real good answer in my head immediately, and I'm just like, I want to know. I'm so susceptible to the mystery box bullshit. And I compiled the whole story into a nice, neat manuscript ready for publication too. But then Hurley here was all funny about it. Remember? He was very mean. Oh, it is that story. That story was not be published, you said, very mysteriously as well. Okay, so what the fuck then? Really? I said that? Are you sure? Did you like Lost? I loved Lost when it was going week to week, but then it lost me. Sorry, not intentional. You know, that joke is really in the back rooms. I didn't like the ending at the time. I might like it now that you can watch the whole entire thing, yeah. Do you perhaps know something about it as well, Mr. Sholmes? Dark is peak. Dark is so good. Dark does lose me a little bit in the middle, that like everything is just a bootstrap paradox, but I feel like eventually it justified that as like it's trying to make a point with it. And the ending wasn't my favorite ending in a story, but I still did enjoy it. But Dark is really, really good. I can highly recommend Dark as like a rock solid like 8.5 out of 10 show maybe. Like yeah, like Dark was good. About why Miss Suzada was suddenly told four months ago that she had to return to Japan. Wow, 4 months ago, huh? It's been 4 months now since we waved Susie off at Dover, not mouths, Mr. Sholmes. It was such a shock, wasn't it? The way she just suddenly announced that she had to go back to Japan. Indeed it was, due to a telegram she received from her homeland, I believe. That's right, telling her to return urgently. Yes, because her father had passed away. No. He just said he was suffering from a high fever, the cause of which was unknown. He's not dead. Lost Walks of Leftovers could run. I watched the first episode of Leftovers and I was really, really interested in it. It also has Christopher Eccleston in it. I really like him. He was a really good doctor on Doctor Who. I'm sad he only got 1 season to be the Doctor. Leftovers, I don't know why I didn't go back to it. I want to finish, go back and watch the rest. Yeah, that has such a weird ending of the first episode of Leftovers. Like, doesn't it end with like they go out and start hunting dogs? Leftovers, don't know what it is. I don't know why we're yapping today. I'm sorry. I'm disrespecting the game a bit. Leftovers is a show that's based in a world where is it 10% or is it 2%? It's some low amount of the population gets raptured pretty much. It's not like half the population. It's quite a low number, but it's still enough that pretty much everyone was affected by it. I think they probably picked a number that everyone would be affected by it, but the world wouldn't end. You know what I mean? It was a very low amount of the population just one day just literally just disappeared on the spot. Just from all around the world, all different places. And it's basically about how the world is dealing with that loss and how everyone would react to all the people just suddenly just disappearing out of nowhere. And apparently, like, it did something fucked up to the dogs. So I don't know if animals were affected too or whatever like that. So the episode ends with this really interesting thing about like how like there's just whole teams like go around like hunting wild packs of dogs because they're tormenting the people now. I should go back and watch it. It looked interesting. I liked the first episode. So is the most religious 2% of the population random? What? No, when I say sorry, I shouldn't have said rapture because rapture implies that it was a religious thing. No, it was completely random. It wasn't a religious experience. It doesn't explain exactly what happened. I don't know if it ever does. Yeah, it's just basically a random portion. So it's pretty much, I think almost every single family, like, you know, lost someone. Did you ever watch Pluribus? No, but I read the whole thing on Wikipedia. Pretty good show, yeah. I enjoyed it. No. It just said that he was suffering from a high fever, the cause of which was unknown. He's not dead. But according to this letter, that news about her father's fever was just a ruse. A ruse? So Susie's daddy lied to her so that she'd make the voyage back home. Why would he do that? Yeah, why would he do that? I have to admit, I have absolutely no idea. But she believes it's almost certainly related to the case of the haunted lodgings. I'm kind of mad at Susie's dad. Summoning her back to Japan so suddenly like that, I wonder what Miss Susato's father is hiding. Hurley, do you know what it's all about? Who's this Susie we're talking about? Who can say? What? But you said, why are you dressed to go investigating now? Please, I have engagements, my dear fellow. My calendar is quite surprisingly full today. I got hit up 4 different pawn shops. Always be pawning. And in my notebook, I have tea with someone called Crawling Ollie. I just like saying Crawling Ollie. And a stringent analysis of the matter would be excessive, I feel, even if I were quite at leisure. So, man the fort in my absence, won't you, Iris? I will, Hurley. Don't worry. See you later. He scuttled off rather quickly there. Like a beetle. I think perhaps Professor Mikitoba isn't the only person hiding something here. So Seki-san was involved in 2 cases, but only one of them was forbidden from being published. By, of all people, Mr. Sholmes. Aha! I found them at last. Iris, are they... The notes about the case? That's right. Susie and I compiled them together. The Case of the Haunted Lodgings. Do you want to read them, Bruno? I thought this was the Hound of the Baskervilles story. Absolutely. Thank you, Iris. New music just dropped? Whoa. I have no idea what secrets could still be hiding in the shadows of this case. But perhaps if I read over the notes again, something might come to light. Oh, are we gonna do a flashback trial? That's the spirit. And so, Iris and I decided to read over the case notes again together. Everything from what happened to our investigation, that fierce battle in court that had followed. Reliving every detail. I just need to find a clue, and I have all the time in the world, because of course, I'm no longer allowed to practice law in the courts of Great Britain. Damn. Alright, do you think Phoenix and Maya are handling Lotta Hart's death well? It was so tragic, she was testing her time-traveling camper van, and the only thing that was left was a pair of burning tire marks. She's dead for sure? There's no way. She's totally dead. We haven't found her body or the camper van, but no, dead for sure. It was 6 months ago, a mysterious incident that unfolded on the wintry streets of London. Always be crawling. A young woman was found lying on the snowy pavement on Friar Road with a knife in her back. Fortunately, her life was spared, but she was unconscious for several days following the incident. The fog was thick and nobody saw her attack her, but by a cruel twist of fate, a visiting Japanese student was walking behind her at the time and was duly arrested. That man was Soseki-san, and the man who effected his arrest was Mr. Sholmes. Believing in our compatriot's innocence, Susato-san and I decided to represent Soseki-san in court, and after a grueling trial of many twists and turns, we finally managed to prove his innocence. Joyous, joyful, joyous, jubilant, jubilation was the man's reaction after the trial. But his jubilant jubilation was short-lived. Oh my god. We received a telegram from Mr. Sholmes the following morning. The victim of the Briar Road stabbing has regained consciousness. Hurry to Bart's at once. Oh my god, are we gonna talk to Crawling Ollie? No way. So Suzato-san and I summoned a handsome and headed immediately to the hospital. 21st of February, 5:30 a.m. St. Bartholomew's Hospital. The only hospital we ever go to. Recovery ward. There you are at last! Good morning, Mr. Sholmes. I think not. Oh, yay! Susie's here! Yay! We love Susie. Yay! You're late. What on earth took you so long? Your telegram only arrived at 5 o'clock, Mr. Sholmes, and it's a 20-minute ride to the hospital. That's right, and it's 5:30 now. I think we made very good time. The time is utterly irrelevant. The fact is, I have been waiting for what has felt like an eternity. Fucking hell. In point of fact, I myself was awoken at 4 this morning by a telegram boy. And feeling it was somewhat unjust that I alone had been roused at such an hour, I sent one to you. Well, thanks for that. Anyway, you're here now, so the victim is over there. She's only just regained consciousness. You should introduce yourselves, and I shall observe from here. So that's the lady who was found on the snow-covered pavement with a knife in her back. Her name is, yes, here we are, Miss Green. Why is there an easel? Who's painting in the hospital? Look, there's a photograph in this frame here. Oh yes, it's a picture of a young gentleman. He looks to be about the same age as Miss Green, I would say. Perhaps the young woman's special someone, do you think? My, Mr. Naruhodo, I didn't know you had a sense for matters of the heart. Not in the least. I sincerely said the first thing I thought of. This rounded wooden figure isn't the most charming, is it? I don't think that's a decoration, Mr. Naruhodo. It's an artist's mannequin, I believe, used when practicing sketching the human form in different poses. Really? It's not exactly what you call a typical figure for that purpose, though, is it? No, I suppose not. I confess I've never seen one quite so full-figured before. How is this relevant? Well, if you want to draw a full-figured person, it's the right tool for the job. Oh, there's a hook for the window and everything. Damn. This looks like the patient's treatment notes. Let's see. Do not feed. What is this place? A zoo? You know, I seem to remember seeing an almost identical sign in our local park. For the pigeons, yes, this is a person. Poor woman, I hope she hasn't read this. What game? What the fuck are we doing? There are lots of bottles in that cabinet, aren't there? Above the bed? Do you think it's safe to keep them like that? Yeah, it's... Hee. If you were a patient here, I feel sure you took some medicine by mistake when you were half asleep. That is a worry. But at least the cabinet has a lock, even if it's only a flimsy-looking one. Oh, I've no doubt you've managed to unlock that somehow while you were half asleep as well. There are limits even to what I can do when I'm half asleep, you know, Miss Suzato. Still calling her Miss Suzato. Eek! A mouse, Mr. Naruhodo! An enormous mouse! Vermin in a hospital? That doesn't seem the best. It looks like a very healthy specimen, doesn't it? It's very plump. I'm not sure we can say that's down to the excellence of this facility, if that's what you were thinking. Very tame mouse. That must be a bag of Miss Green's personal belongings. She would have been brought directly here after she was found stabbed on the pavement, though. I expect a friend or family member probably brought some things for her. Alright then, let's see what's inside. A change of clothes, no doubt, and we're just going through her bag in front of... No, Mr. Naruhodo, you must never scrutinize a young maiden's personal belongings. But the young maiden might have chocolates, or biscuits, or caramel. Ryu's hungry. I could go for some caramel right now, that sounds good. Good morning. Hello, I'm Ryunosuke Naruhodo from the Empire of Japan. Oh no, was it your knife that? Are you the man who? No. I'm a lawyer. I'm a lawyer. I am a lawyer. Yeah. Should you be like that active after getting stabbed in the back? How long has it been? And I'm Susato Mikotoba. Pleased to meet you. Oh no, was it your knife then? Are you the one? No. I assure you, I'm Mr. Naruhodo's judicial assistant. We heard that you regained consciousness and wanted to come to give you our best wishes. Best wishes for me? Thank you. I'm olive green. I'm an artist. Well, no, that's not right, is it? What I mean is, I'm trying to be an artist. Oh, that never goes away, love, I'm sorry. Well, what I really mean is, I desperately want to be an artist. What's with the key? But the truth is, I don't have any talent. I know I don't. You know what? With words like that, you are an artist. It's no wonder I was stabbed in the back. Aww. I don't think that's related, actually. Gosh, this young woman seems to bend over backwards to put herself down onto the floor where she crawls to where she needs to get to sink through. You should ask her about what happened from her perspective, I suppose. About the incident, about yourself. To suddenly be struck in the back by a blade as you were walking along the pavement. What a terrible experience you had, Miss Green. It was so cold that day and the fog was so thick, I couldn't see a thing. That was 4 days ago now, I think, is that right? What is this crawling bit? Because the crackpot theory of how she ended up with a knife in her back that fell from a window above into her back was, because otherwise it would have hit her head, right? So how to hit her back was that she just crawls everywhere. And then someone in chat said, Crawling Ollie, they call her, because her name's Olive, and there you go, it was born. It was not that she crawls everywhere, it's just that she found something on the floor and bent over to pick it up, and then the knife fell on her. A bit worse than Henry. It's fucking a great bit. I don't know what you're talking about. That was 4 days ago now, I think. Is that right? 4 days and you're standing upright with a knife that went in your back to the point that went into a coma? Holy shit. Yes, that's right. I'm afraid you've been comatose all that time. But the case has been solved, hasn't it? Well, I've been here in hospital, I mean. Oh yeah, indeed it has, my dear madam. Spectacularly, by none other than I, Herlock Sholmes. Mr. Sholmes, as you well know, it was Mr. Naruhodo's hard work in court that solved the case. Are you yet to hear what happened, Miss Green? Yes, I'm afraid so. What? That's fucked up. A gentleman from the police force is supposed to be coming to fill me in shortly. That's fucked up that she doesn't know. Oh, I see. Is it Sholmes? Me coming around seems to have made everyone frantically busy. I'm so sorry. I should never have regained consciousness. It was selfish of me. Oh no, we're all so relieved that you're on the mend, Miss Green. Really, we are. With that kind of attitude, maybe her surname should be Blue, not Green. Thank you, Ryu. Very cool. What the fuck are you talking about? All right, what else is here? This girl is blue, and so am I. Ah, this looks like the treatment notes for whoever's occupying this bed. Let's see. Do not permit to run around the hospital. Is this the mouse's bed? The patient doesn't seem to be here at the moment, so he or she is probably running around the hospital then. Oh dear, how worrying. What's worrying is why they haven't discharged the patient yet. There are all sorts of medicines in this cabinet. Look, I'm not sure if it's safe leaving them in reach of everyone like this. Yes, you're right. I can imagine if you were peckish, you might try a whole bottle or two. Well, at least there seems to be a little lock to secure the cabinet doors. I don't imagine that would stop you if you were hungry. I worry that you'd break the lock. Hunger doesn't turn me into a criminal, you know, Miss Susato. They're so formal with each other. So, you're an artist, are you, Miss Green? Oh no, I couldn't possibly claim that. I'm a fledgling artist at best. I mean, I'm a student of art, really, at the Thorndike Academy of Fine Arts. Oh my, an Academy of Fine Arts. Great Britain is such a wonderful country. Tell me, Miss Green, do you live hereabouts? Wow, just invented a word that, no, oh no, actually. I don't deserve it, but I have a little flat on Brixton Road. I see. How very interesting. I'm the judge now. Oh no, is it? Brixton is some 10 stops away on the underground from here. And Thorndike Academy is a mere 3-minute walk from Brixton Town Center. Wait, what? Okay, I am extremely ignorant about many things, but two of the things I am the most ignorant about are history and geography. What does he mean by undergrounds? Like, did they have underground trains in London in the late 1800s? Yeah, really? Was it like a limited scope sort of thing, or what? They were steam trains. See, that's what's fucking me up, is like, because obviously they couldn't be electric trains, so they had underground tunnels that were capable of like just tanking the amount of pollution that they would like pump out. Really? Damn. All right, that's a really interesting to learn. I didn't know that. I would expect that it was probably, I would probably guess like early to mid 1900s that they would have had that. Not this early. Damn. All right, that's really interesting. Does that matter, Mr. Sholmes? Perhaps not, but Briar Road is a far less salubrious part of town by comparison, dwelt in by those of inferior means, including the maleficent Mr. Mustache. Mario? Inferior means? I suppose Soseki-san does fit the bill. Soseki-san. It struck me as somewhat out of the ordinary for a young fine arts student to be walking in such a district. Officially opened on January 10th, 1863. I'm surprised too. Fucking hell, that's like almost a full 100 years earlier than I thought. God damn, really? I guess it must have been way more limited scope than what it is now, though. A completely different operation, pretty much. Fuck. That must have been awful. Like, really cool at the same time, but that must have been awful with just all the smoke that would come out of those trains. Fucking hell. Struck me as somewhat out of the ordinary for a young fine arts student to be walking in such a district. That's all. What's this? She's suddenly clammed up. Mr. Sholmes, you should be ashamed of yourself, prying into a young maiden's private affairs. Oh dear me, do forgive me. If you don't mind. I'm being discharged shortly, so I need to pack up my things. So soon? It was a knife. Oh, it's London. Yeah, okay. Oh yes, of course. We won't keep you. Thank you so much, Miss Green. Is there a Mr. Narrow Fodder here? Mr. Narrow Fodder? Narrow Fodder now? Well, if you're looking for Naruhodo, the lawyer, that's me, but... Ah, Mr. Narrow Fodder, good. This is for you. I'm the judge. This is my daylight gig. It's a message from Mr. Saucy Nutsmeg. Mr. Natsumi sent a message to me? But why would a policeman be delivering a message from Mr. Natsumi? Exactly. What's going on? What's a Scotland Yard constable doing playing delivery boy at this time in the morning? Is he back in prison? Arg, what are you waiting for? Let me see that. Oh. Well, this is most unexpected. I love his weird ass fucking serious stare poses that he does. Especially when he's told that he's wrong about something and he just like the stare of the Sherlock Abyss where he's like, oh. He's so fucking strange. Is something wrong, Mr. Sholmes? Is something wrong, Mr. Sholmes, he says. Have you not seen this note? No, how could I have? It would seem that London's criminals have no intention of letting the great detective rest. A new case calls. A case of murder, no less. We must depart at once. Ba-da-ba-da-da! Murder? Call a cab. Time is of the essence. Let's take the underground. I want to see it, but the trouble is, we've yet to read Mr. Natsumi's note. I was thinking we ought to pay him a visit in his lodgings once we did. He's not there. He's in prison. Oh, scene end. That would be entirely convenient. Convenient? What do you mean? It's all here in the note, my dear fellows. The murder we must investigate took place at Mr. Mustache's lodgings. Oh wait, never mind. Wait, what? I'll hail a fiacre at once. The fuck is that? It was only yesterday that Soseki-san was in court and we were dispelling doubt. It was yesterday? What? We were dispelling doubts about this. So Soseki-san is going mad with power. Damn, this lawyer can get me off about anything. I'm gonna go kill someone now. No one would believe it. It was only yesterday Soseki-san was in court and we were dispelling the doubts about his innocence, and now the very next day. Sorry, Baldur had a message, 1 second. At some point they tried out different solutions to the tube being full of smoke. One of them was the atmospheric railway, where they would add a vacuum tube running down the rails and it pull the train. Not very effective, and turn a bunch of rats that strayed too close into goo at the end of the pipe. Damn, really? What about like just lots of holes? That would be way too difficult to drill in, wouldn't it? Like just exhaust. I guess they had to have some. Because otherwise, where did it go? Because otherwise, it'd be like the stairs that go down to the underground. There would just be smoke coming out of them like all the time, right? So there have to be lots of holes in the tops of the tunnels, right? How's your grip strengthening game? Oh, I could kill a man. Yep. Why can't I? Oh yeah, okay. He may very well be the unluckiest man alive, or so it seemed to us at the time, but we were soon to discover it was way worse than we thought. Have you heard of manholes? Yeah, obviously, but like the amount that you would need for that, and also their size too. Like trains make a lot of fucking smoke. Of course, he's heard of those who are playing Gary's attorney. Whoa! What the fuck? 21st February, 7:18 a.m. Mr. Natsumi's lodgings, ground floor. What on earth? Oh my, the gentleman is deceased without question. He's dead. Did you clean up? The locum student, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. Mr. Natsumi. Oh, why? Why is this happening? Why to me? I've only just got out of court yesterday. I was finally home after 2 days of misery, and then I wake up the next day to this. No early bird should catch a worm like this. Woeful worm without wiggle. Huh? Okay, that one's kind of a stretch. I see you're in high spirits again this morning, Mr. Mustache. Ah, not the horrible Herlock Sholmes. Shoo, shove off, show yourself the door. I never invited you. Mr. Sholmes came here with us. I'm quite sure he'll be able to help you, Mr. Natsumi. I'm entirely at your disposal, Mr. Mustache. What can I do for you? Grrr. Aw, not Gregson. Here they are already, the busybodies. Ah, Inspector Gregson, what a pleasant surprise. Pleasant, is it? Gives me heartburn every time I see your face at a crime scene, Sholmes. Why is the game dropping frames? What's going on? Maybe I should have restarted the computer before I streamed. Hopefully it's not coming through on stream. I deduce, Inspector, that your heartburn is a result of your excessive consumption of fried food. Good morning, Inspector. This is a crime scene. Don't you go touching anything. Or good morning to you too, Sunshine. Sunshine. So Seki, this is not your apartment. Where are all the books? Oi, I said hands off. You're gonna mess up my crime scene. Oh, no, I just wanted to look, that's all. No chance, I know you're kind. You'll mess it up just by looking at it. Ugh, someone's in a bad mood. Ha, there's certainly some bad air in here, isn't there? Alright, sounds like I better talk to the inspector first and try to curry some favor. Oh, thank you, Paulin916_2 for the 18 months. Thank you for always be entertaining for streams. Thank you for saying that. I don't think I am always entertaining for streams, but I do try most of the time. Will you be playing any of the new games announced today on the Nintendo Direct? Yeah, probably a decent amount of them. Ocarina of Time remake if it's substantial, definitely. If it's just a remaster, like graphical overhaul, then it'd be fun to check out, I guess. But yeah. Thumb wrestling? Oh yeah, for sure. Yep. Stellar Blade again. That's true. We could do Stellar Blade again. Why not? Every time it's announced and re-released like Skyrim, we'll play it again. Kingdom Hearts? I haven't played 3 yet, so that's been missed too, right? Thank you, Bew Noodle, for the 50 more months with "Pray forgive my insolence, but I forgot my Van Zeeks joke. So instead, I'll just say I'm a reporter now. I'm Ray Tenry Manamemry." That is a mouthful. Would you play Xenoblade 1? Xenoblade 1 I think is locked in, isn't it? We're gonna do it eventually. Is my nose bleeding? No, it's just running a tiny little bit. Okay. 1 second. Tissue. Are you gonna play the Dark Ages DLC? I'd like to, but I haven't played the Eternal DLC yet either. Dark Ages DLC looked interesting. It looked like it's... What was with the weird like times where it switched over to like being in a hospital? What's going on there? Strange. Are they giving Doomguy more of a backstory or some shit? I don't know what they're doing, but I really like Dark Ages, so yeah. Are you gonna play 007 First Light? Yeah, after this, we're playing 007 First Light. But I might be moving at the end of the month, and depending on how long this takes, I might have to take some time off to get ready to move and then move. But I also might not be moving until the 1st of August or September, depending on how it goes. I can't just like magic a place to go to, right? So sometimes it takes time to line them up. Oh, Dispatch too. Yeah, we're gonna be doing Dispatch. Yeah. So, Inspector, what was the victim's name? Who was he? Mr. William Shamspeare. What? He was a lodger. What? As you can probably tell, he was an actor. A bit of a dead loss. Bit of a dead loss, as it happens, or just dead. Mr. Shamspeare. Mr. Shamspeare, son. It was the landlord, old Mr. Garadeb, and the other lodger, Mr. Natsumi, who found him. The fella didn't rise at his usual hour, so Garadeb got worried and kicked the door down. But doesn't Mr. Garadeb have a bad leg? Ah, yeah, you're right there. It was that jittery Japanese hunchback over there who actually did the kick-in. Really? Soseki-san? The victim was pretty hard up, it seems, even done some time inside for petty crimes. He had no money, no place to go, and no friends. His only acquaintances were the people in this house. Okay, so this is Shamspeare's apartment. It's not Soseki's apartment. Okay. So Soseki is Soseki gonna be the one that goes down for it again, or what? Because miserable life and a miserable end to it. So what exactly is Mr. Natsumi still doing here? He's not involved in the investigation, so shouldn't you have sent him away from the crime scene? He would have been arrested by now, right? Well, I'm not saying it's because the fellow looks odd or anything, or that he acts suspicious, but I thought it would be prudent to take a statement from the cohabiter. You nearly said culprit there, didn't you? Oh dear. Mr. Natsumi appears to be under suspicion again. It certainly seems that way. He does just come across as such an odd fellow, doesn't he? Poor man, how unfortunate. Anyway, I can't say much until the coroner gets here. But I don't think the fella's been a goner that long. The body's still warm. Oh shit! What? Even if the inspector would allow it, I don't think I could bring myself to touch a dead body. Like literally warm, or just a figure of speech? How long does it take for a body to lose its heat? I would imagine that probably happens fairly quickly, unless it... I guess with clothes, it would retain the heat more for longer. But I didn't know when London got an underground, so, you know, why would I think I know anything? Why are all these checked? Oh, it's because you are not letting us look at them, that's why. What a terrible thing to have happened. It's only been 3 days since I was arrested for the incident on the pavement outside. And then, having finally regained my freedom, it starts happening all over again. Endless existence of excruciating experiences. So, the victim lives here on the ground floor, and your room is just 1 story up, isn't it? Yes, that's right. In a way, we were neighbors, I suppose. So, did you know the victim? Were you friends? He's playing an invisible Game Boy. And losing. What's the matter with Soseki-san now? It was an innocent enough question, wasn't it? Why does he seem to be so shaken by it? Well, I suppose he wasn't a complete just a stranger. But did he ever invite me to his room? Never. On my honor, I swear it. What an extreme reaction. You're probably wishing you'd never asked now, aren't you, Mr. Naruhodo? Mr. Naruhodo? We found him here, I felt wretched, which is why I sent word asking for you to come. Through that inspector over there. Hell yeah. Mr. Sholmes, what are you doing? Ha! You need only observe to know it, my dear fellow. Investigating, naturally. Are we gonna do a dance? There's nothing natural about that pose. Mr. Sholmes, have you made some miraculous discovery? Patience, my dear madam, patience. We've not been here in this room 5 minutes. So far, all I've managed to deduce is what actually happens. My goodness! Here we go! Here we go! But isn't that everything we need to know, Mr. Sholmes? Now that you propose the idea, I believe one could indeed see it that way. At the present time, I've managed to draw 2 incontrovertible conclusions. The first, that there was a physical struggle here last night in which the victim fought for his life. Mr. Natsumi, what's wrong? Is something that Mr. Sholmes said significant somehow? No, don't mind me. Forget I was here. And my second conclusion is that there was a poison lingering in the air here last night that passed the victim's lips. Nonsense! Alright, Mr. Natsumi, why are you reacting so extremely to Mr. Sholmes' deductions? No, please, pretend I'm not here. Invisible, ineffable, inscrutable, insignificant. Annoying, impossible to ignore. You must tell us everything, Mr. Sholmes. Spare no detail. Oh, that was a cute pout, but of course. Let the theatrical tragedy before us be unraveled by my great deductions presented for your pleasure in 2 acts. We've heard some truly astounding great deductions from Mr. Sholmes in the past. No doubt this will be no exception. What miracles will unfold before our eyes this time? Well, bullshit, more like. So, my dear fellows, for your delight and wonder, let the curtain rise. For Herlock Sholmes' Logic and Reasoning Spectacular, Act 1. The game is afoot. Topic 1. Cause of death. Oh, the Nintendo Direct is back. Careful observation of the victim reveals to us the events that transpired in this disconsolate room last night. Foam at the mouth of the deceased clearly indicates the use of poison. Or, next to the victim, we notice a large dining plate which contains, you will observe, a whole stick of butter. Oh, it's soap? 1/2 of a sizable bar of soap. Meaningful? Indubitably. Why is the soap set so purposefully upon the dish? Looked like the victim's last supper, in fact. Yes. So are the bubbles from the soap, then? Could it be that the man was about to eat it? Of course. The fork reveals the answer. I love that he looked at the camera there. It appears that the young man's appetite was his undoing. Taking up arms in the form of his cutlery, the victim engaged in a deadly battle for his life. Yet the struggle against his hunger was in vain, for in the end he couldn't resist devouring the slippery feast. But London's foul soap is besmirched by foul poison. Yes, the victim's life was claimed by poison that tainted the contents of the plate. The soap and the lather about the young man's mouth are too perfectly matched to ignore. The cause of death was clearly intoxication due to excessive ingestion of foul soap. Though personally, I have a greater interest in the taste of foul candle wax, of course. Poisoning from soap ingestion. Alright. Suicide or murder. The cause of death identified. We proceed to Act 2, where we ponder the next question. Was this suicide or murder? Evil Clara. The audience will recall that death occurred during the victim's Last Supper. Did the man dine and die alone? The single teacup suggests the answer. Oh, fuck, poor Soseski, man. To draw a conclusion on such meager evidence would be foolish, however certain. The careful criminal could have absconded with his own cup to cover his tracks. Well, let me lift the veil of doubt, my dear fellow. Indeed, what reveals the answer, of course, is the broken lock. Though forced open now, at the time of the incident, this door was locked. And the sole key was in the victim's pocket. In other words, sumari, when the victim consumed the poison, he must have been alone. Alone with his inferior soap, from whence wafted an inferior scent. And with that acrid aroma lingering in the air, the victim met his end in tragic solitude. We can take comfort only in the fact that his soul was well cleansed on its way to the hereafter. No possible perpetrator present. Okay, slam dunk, no trial. Thus concludes the final act of Herlock Sholmes' Great Deduction. Oh, is this gonna be like the first game in that the second case isn't even gonna have a trial? It's just gonna be like investigating stuff, or is there gonna be I feel like he would be arrested if that was the case. Hold on, didn't he say that he had to go through two things? There's just one thing, Mr. Sholmes. You are disposed to identifying just one thing, aren't you, Mr. Naruhodo? Pray, what concerns you? Well, no matter how hungry he was, do you really think the man would have eaten so... You know what? For the first time ever, I think Sherlock is just right. Look, everything he said makes sense. It follows. He ate some soap. You know what? I'm for it. We don't need to do the counter for this one. It's a slam dunk. Let's just go home. It's quite apparent that this man had barely a penny to his name. It is a curious thing, but to one so destitute, soap can suddenly appear quite irresistibly appetizing. Yeah, that's true. How extraordinary. In truth, I've tried a little soap myself in the past. You've eaten it, you mean? My dear fellow, it was some time ago now. My postulation was that it would cleanse my gut. And did it? As I writhed in agony on the floor and spilt the contents of my stomach, yes, I believe it did. Bro is soap maxing? What the fuck? The experience taught me a valuable lesson. Soap is quite poisonous. It has an unpleasant taste and leads to great discomfort. In summary, sumari, I cannot recommend it. Believe me, I wouldn't eat it even if you did. There's something that troubles me as well, actually. Oh, what's that? It's Mr. Natsumi. I couldn't help noticing him shuddering and quivering out of the corner of my eye. Almost as if Mr. Sholmes' deductions touched a nerve somehow. Nonsense? Well, that clenched teeth episode didn't last. I think, judging by Mr. Natsumi's reaction, The great detective's deductions may need some gentle corrections in order to reach the actual truth. What do you mean we got there? He ate soap and died. What the... Susie. Yes, Mr. Sholmes' observations and deductions are sometimes a little too sharp. He has a tendency to hit the nail on the side of the head and drive it in an obtuse angle. I hate it when that happens. When he does that, it falls to us to straighten things out. We're making things straight in Grace Attorney during Pride Month? I don't think so. All right then, let's see what we can do. Yes, we must pick out the key words in Mr. Sholmes' quite brilliant deductions and discreetly exchange them for something that makes a little more sense. If we can do that, yeah, I'm sure we'll arrive at what Mr. Sholmes meant to say in the first place. In that case, are you ready for the second performance of the day? Okay, I gotta ask. Do we think that Sholmes knows that he's wrong and he's doing this performatively so there's like a back and forth between him and Mr. Naruhodo, or is he just legitimately this stupid? Because sometimes I feel like he does have a flash of insight that is like whoa, okay, that was actually sharp. He is the great detective, and then he does like he ate soap. Once again, my dear fellows, for your continued delight and wonder, let the curtain rise. For Herlock Sholmes is logic and reasoning spectacular. Act 1, because he's never mad when we correct him. Hold it, Mr. Sholmes. How do I do this again? Careful observation of the victim reveals to us the events that transpired in this kind of room last night. From where the mouth is deceased clearly indicates the use of poison. Okay, how do I hit it just happens automatically by the question marks, right? Next to the victim, you notice a large dining plate which contains, you'll observe, 1/2 size bowls of soap, meaningful indubitably. Why is the soap so first upon the dish, like the victim's last supper, in fact? Yes. Could it be the man was about to eat it? Of course. The fork reveals the answer. God, is it even soap? Well, you can't deny that a fork implies the man was eating something or about to eat something. Yes, that's true. That's so true. If I were to decide to eat some soap, I should prefer to use a fork than to attempt it with chopsticks. And of course, only half of the bar of soap was left on the plate. But might there not be some other explanation? Something material that proves whether or not the man really ate some soap. Is it that there are no bite marks on the soap? Do you think he was drinking tea with his soap? The cup's empty, so there's no way of knowing. Ah, how about this for an idea? Perhaps the cup was full of water, and he was dissolving the soap in it so he can gulp as much down as possible. Please remember that he may not have actually been the soap lover that he's been made out to be. Is it different? It's not got a check mark. No, it's fine. Okay. I suppose you eat soap with a fork, would you? I don't think it's a question of which implement you'd use. You shouldn't eat soap, full stop. But then why? Why does the man have a fork in his hand? Oh dear, I understand your frustration, Mr. Naruhodo, but please don't take it out on me. The point is, if we decide the man used this fork to eat the soap, we wouldn't be changing Mr. Sholmes' deduction. I think he ate the soap, so we really ought to consider some other clue. Aw, he didn't eat the soap. Boo! Boo! Aw, I'm sad that he didn't eat the soap. You know what? Second bar of soap. The two bars of soap. Look, there's more soap on the floor here. Mr. Shamsphere must really have loved the stuff. Going through 2 bars a meal. Let's not jump to conclusions, Mr. Naruhodo. Look closely at the soap. Do you see that it would fit together perfectly with the half bar on the table? What the? How can that be? I think that they are 2 halves of the same bar that broke apart. Why does he have soap on the table? What is that? Is that not the answer?
Take that!
Is it the wedding soap? Just his favorite soap? Could it be that the man was about to eat it? Of course, the other piece of soap reveals the answer. It being the other half of the soap on the table. In short, Sumari, the victim, was not eating soap at all. He was just looking at his soap, but it's obvious really, for no depths of hunger could drive any man to attempt to eat soap, except that one time that I did it. Even I, with my unquenchable thirst for practical knowledge, took only a single bite. But that begs the question of how the man was poisoned, because there's no sign of any food on the table. An excellent observation, Mr. Naruhodo, and one that furnishes us with the answer we seek. For London's foul soap is besmirched by foul poison. Yes, the victim's life was claimed by poison that tainted the contents of the plate. Mr. Sholmes is still pushing the soap argument then. Perhaps he's suggesting the man licked the soap rather than ate it. If soap in London is that poisonous, I don't think I want to be washing my hands with it. But there are no signs of any food in this room at all. Of course, food isn't the only thing that passes people's lips, is it? Yes, a Western vessel for the serving and infusions of dried tea. Shut the fuck up, Yusuke. It's a teacup, Mr. Naruhodo, as you well know. Stop putting on airs. Whoa! Where's this coming from? And it's empty. Ah, so we've already established that the victim wasn't eating soap when he died. However, there's significant evidence to suggest that he was drinking tea. My thoughts exactly. Hey, we have more evidence that he was eating soap than drinking tea. There's no tea in this cup. It's empty. The contents of the plate is just the soap again, isn't it? Well, you know, there's a saying in Japanese, don't you? If your food is poisoned, you might as well eat it, plate and all. Well, there's an image. All I can picture now is the victim first taking a bite of the soap and then the plate. The soap like some tofu and the plate like a giant rice cracker. Oh dear, that sounds like a very bland combination. If the victim didn't eat soap, then what did he eat? Yes, it's a real mystery, isn't it? Ah, I've got it. He wasn't interested in eating soap at all. It was this fork he wanted to satisfy his hunger with. Mr. Naruhodo, I really don't think it's helpful to continue with this line of reasoning that the gentleman had peculiar taste. He is fucking Pika? What the fuck are you talking about? Suzato-san has such a gentle way with words, but I know what when I've been told off. Maybe he's too poor to have a spoon, and he was stirring his tea with a fork. And let's, you know, sometimes even the best of us run out of spoons and have to use weird utensils to stir our tea or maybe coffee. Like, you know, it happens, right? Yes, the victim's life was claimed by poison that tainted the teacup. Indeed, cups have been the vessel of choice for practicing poisoners over the centuries. And it would appear that this victim drank every last drop. There's no sign of food anywhere in the room. Then why fort? Which leads us to the immutable conclusion. The cause of death was clearly intoxication due to the ingestion of poison contained in this teacup. Poison in the tea. God, I hope he just pops back up alive and says, oh man, I get to finish my soap now. That would be fucking peak. The cause of death identified. We proceed to Act 2, where we ponder the next question. Was this suicide or murder? So Seki, what the fuck is going on? The audience will recall that death occurred during the victim's last supper. Did the man dine and die alone? The single teacup suggests the answer. Ah, the Western vessel for infused hot drinks again. It's already featured heavily in our deductions so far. Yes, we can imagine that shortly before his death, Mr. Shamsir is having a drink of tea in this completely ordinary teacup that you keep over-describing. There would be nothing remarkable about that. But what troubles me is Mr. Natsumi's reaction when he heard Mr. Sholmes suggest it. There's more to this seduction than it seems. We must closely examine the scene of the crime again for some more clues. How did his hat fall off like that? It's empty and it's the only cup on the table. It would appear so, yes. And when you consider those facts, Mr. Sholmes' reasoning seems highly logical. but it's always the same in these deductions. The real truth is always buried a little deeper than the great detective suggests. Okay, very meta of you. Mr. Naruhodo, you seem very dubious, and Mr. Sholmes all of a sudden. The fork again? The victim just seems to be holding it so pointedly. It makes it impossible to let go of the idea that it must be involved somehow. From eating soap. Well, let's hope it turns out to be a useful clue in the end. What? What do you mean? What the? It's another Western vessel for infusion. It's a teacup, and it too is empty. Given that he's actually holding this one in his hand, we can assume that this is the cup from which Mr. Shansier is actually drinking. But if that's the case, this changes everything. Everything we've deduced up to now is turned on its head. And I have a bad feeling about this. I almost don't want to say it. Yes, I know exactly how you feel. So, someone else was here eating the soap with him?
Take that!
Did the man dine and die alone? This other teacup suggests the answer. Yes, there were 2 teacups in this room all along. Ah! In other words, Sumari, this is a strong indication that the victim's last supper, there was a guest present. That looks like the guy with Lady First. At the very least, we can say now with certainty that somebody else was here in this room last night, taking tea with the victim. What are you talking about? Utterly, unbelievably, unjustly, unreasonable. To draw a conclusion on such meager evidence would be foolish, however, certainly. In which case, what more can we deduce about this possible guest at the table? Well, allow me to lift the veil of doubt, my dear fellow. Do you mean to say you know exactly who was in this room at the time of the victim's death? Indeed. What reveals the answer, of course, is the broken lock. I'm not sure I like where the seduction is going now. I'm afraid it's too late to go back to the Halcyon days of eating too much soap. Halcyon? Halcyon. But the identity of the guest who was here last night when the victim passed away is something I have a very bad feeling about. It's Gregson? Well, you can try to ignore your feelings, but we cannot ignore the truth, Mr. Naruhodo. No, I suppose not. Time to look around again. Thank you for the 2,000 bits, Anaromi. Thank you very much. Oi, I sell damaged goods now. I'm Pawnbrokenry. Oi, got a new job. I'm Henry. Now back to the VOD mines. Henry with a new job. Thank you very much for the bits. I hope you enjoy the VOD, Anaromi. Oh, also thank you to Lucy Goosey 3 for the 4 months. I didn't see it to now. Glad to be back with the Great Ace Attorney 2. Can't wait to see your reactions to the rest of the game. Also, obligatory Henry joke. Fucking everyone has an Henry joke. I'm a hard to describe concept now. Okay. Fucking hell. Meta. Hey, remember the Kingdom Hearts trilogy trailer? Turns out the cover art is AI art. What? Why? Why would they do that? I don't get it. Are a bunch of people, like, are a bunch of higher ups thinking that AI art, even if it costs more, is just like the new hotness? Wait, how do we know? From the pixels and seeing many AI arts in our time. Thank you again for the bits, Anaromi. That sucks down. Yeah, it does. What the fuck? What reveals the answer? Broken lock. Empty bottle, pile of books, glasses. At first glance, it seems that the only things in this room are the makeshift stage and the costumes. I overlooked these 3 books initially. I wonder what they are. Let's see. The titles read: The Picture of Monsieur Lecoq, Canterbury Yearnings, and A Meal for Gaborio. These are from his room, yeah. Wait, I'm sure I've heard those titles before. It could just be an incredible coincidence, but they're the exact same 3 books that Mr. Natsumi purchased the other day. What? Yes, on the day of the unfortunate incident when Miss Green was stabbed. Soseki-san had just been to a bookshop and bought them, that's right. And now those 3 titles are here in the room of the victim. Yet Mr. Natsumi claims never to have been here before. What? What does this mean, do you think? I really don't know what to make of it. Excuse me. It's empty. Empty of liquid, but full of air. That makes you think, doesn't it? It makes me think that you're full of hot air. We should be thinking about who else was in the room at the time. But what the hell? What side of the bed did you wake up on this morning, Susie? Bother, Suzato-san's quip in response was cleverer than my original riddle. Obviously, Namura heard about Sora AI and got confused. Alright, +2. Fucking hell. Oh dear, the latch is most definitely broken, isn't it? The door was kicked in by Mr. Natsumi, according to what Mr. Garadeb told the inspector. Oh, did he fake the door needing to be broke down and he put the key in the pocket when he got in here? Who knew his short, thin little legs had so much strength in them? I'm not sure the length of his legs is in any way significant here. Perhaps this says more about the poor state of the door than about Mr. Natsumi's strength, actually. Careful, if he overheard that remark, he'd almost certainly have a lively response. I don't know. Can this broken lock really tell us anything about who is here?
Take that!
Hey, can anyone explain the minimum amount of Kingdom's backstory? Does it understand a joke thanks to advance? The main character is named Sora. And Sora AI is an AI thing. So he just got mixed up. There you go. Done. In 20 words or less. Indeed, what reveals the answer, of course, is the pile of familiar books. Quite so. It's no mere coincidence that these 3 titles are here in this room. It's the link to the truth. Ah! Mr. Natsumi, you purchased these books 4 days ago at a secondhand bookshop. That's just a coincidence. In that case, you'll be able to bring the same 3 titles from your own room, will you not? Oh, got his ass. This very moment. No, never. Non-negotiable. If you can't bring your own copies here, it proves that these 3 books are in fact yours. Having purchased the books 4 days ago and returned to your lodgings, you were arrested the very next day. So you could conceivably have brought the books here on that evening, but you never mentioned that. In other words, Sumari, you could have only brought these 3 books here to the victim's room. Last night, having returned to your lodgings after the trial concluded at the Old Bailey. So you got out of court, got absolved of the murder, and instead of going home and just being like, I'm just gonna have a chill night to myself and just like decompress, you went to a social engagement? In short, there's only one possible conclusion. The victim died here in his room last night as a result of poisoning. And that same night, the victim had a visitor. And that visitor... fucking hell. Was you, Mr. Soseki Natsumi. No. Thus concludes the final act of Herlock Sholmes' great deduction. Bum 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 bum. Soseki Natsumi at the scene. So Gregson just like watched this whole thing, huh? Erg. Not again, not again, not again, not again, not again. Well then, Mr. Natsumi. It would appear you're gonna have to accompany me down to the yard. Again. But wait. Hold your horses. Yes? Door. Key. Locked. Exit entirely impossible. He's so flustered. He's being even stranger than normal. What, you think that's an alibi? You could have just made a copy. What? Oh, I'm away. You get into a room now. I'm... Fucking no. You live in the same building after all. You'd have plenty of opportunity, I'm sure. But... Misery me! Sorry, sir, you'll get your chance to give your side of the story later, in court, where everyone will assume you already did it. The facts speak for themselves, Mr. Mustache. You horrible Herlock Sholmes! He really has found himself an arch rival now, hasn't he? Come on now, no dilly-dallying. Outside, there's a carriage waiting. Wish I had a Jason Statham I could do for Gregson. Locum student, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. I never imagined I'd be in this position again, but... You have to help me, please, please! I'm innocent, why did you lie? Alright, you know what? You know what, I actually don't blame him. Like, last time, everything was stacked against him. Like, it was a policeman that fucked this whole shit up, right? Like, you wouldn't want to put yourself in that system again, right? Alright, I understand. We'll come to your cell later and talk about it. Oh, there is going to be a trial, and one more thing. Oh, yes? My poor little kitty cat. Please give him his breakfast for me. And so, his evil curse still apparently unbroken. Soseki-san found himself once again in the prime suspect in a case of murder. Thanks to the incriminating deduction of a great detective. My dear fellow, that honor belongs to you. Well, at least that means Inspector Gregson is no longer here. We can examine the crime scene in more detail now. Yes, that's right. And of course. What? We can dig into this soap. Have you forgotten what the inspector mentioned before? It was the landlord, Mr. Garadeb, who discovered Mr. Shamspear. Ah, Mr. John Garadeb, yes. I expect we could find him in the sitting room of the top floor as usual. Right, we must remember to go and talk to him later then. Very economically made game, huh? It is break time. Yeah, let's take our break. There's not much on these shelves, is there? Just this wine glass and bottle. If I hit the buttons, will it continue or will it mute the microphone? We're gonna find out. I'll be back in a couple minutes. Bathroom and go get some water. Poison soap is a very devious murder method. Yeah, it's almost a perfect crime. Like, the biggest problem is that the leftover soap, someone else might eat it when they find it too, and also be poisoned, because everyone wants to get their hands on some free soap to eat, right? There's an S on this, like, robe to the right here. Oh, squeaky chair, squeaky life. Okay, I'm gonna go for another hour, and then at that hour mark, so past 3 hours of stream, I will decide if I'll go for another hour after that or push on to the end of the scene, and then we might end it there. So we'll see. I am pretty tired, but if I do end the stream in an hour, I still can't sleep for a few hours after that, or else I'm gonna wake up too early again. So. But it's gonna take me a while to fall asleep anyway, no matter what. Even if I'm absolutely exhausted, it still usually takes me a bit to fall asleep, so. What were your thoughts on the previous case? It was entertaining. It was quite a good introduction, I think. And as far as tutorial cases go, I don't really remember the tutorial cases all that well from the first 3 games, but I think this was probably the best one. There were actually some deductions that were pretty hard. I don't know, maybe I was also tired that stream, but some of the there was at least 2 things that asked of me. I was like, whoa, you're expecting me to do a leap here, and just hope that I'm right. Yeah, it was good. Alright, there's not much on these shelves, is there? Just this wine glass and bottle. Oh, let me use the microphone a little bit. And both of them are cracked. Like, they're that good? Or, yes, not much use, are they? What's the matter? Oh, I was just reminded of the Reaper, that's all. Prosecutor Lord Van Zeeks? Yes, he's so reckless with his wine glasses. I was thinking it's a waste and that he should donate some to the needy. You can suggest it next time we meet. Ooh. Why can't I look at that on the floor there? That looks weird. That's not the soap, is it? No. What is that? Oh, I can look at it. What's this? It looks like part of an envelope, I think. Yes, I think you may be right. Perhaps it was torn off when the letter was opened. Is that significant? Well, it's a little out of place, perhaps. When you look around the room... What do we think about when it's revealed in a story that the characters have done a bunch of shit between stories that you haven't been privy to? I actually really like it. I feel like it makes a lot of the stuff that they go through feel more real, like they exist when you're not looking, and it like deepens the experiences that they have, and they've had many more adventures, and it also opens up the potential that even when their time comes to an end, that you're following them, that you could still like jump back to like unseen stories, and you can still see those characters interact with each other and stuff like that. As long as it's not a hand wave for important character development, because otherwise it's hard to write. Yeah, I think it needs... I think if it's really important to the characters, that you should see that for the story that you're following. But just knowing that they had adventures that you didn't see, I think, you know, fun side adventures, I think that's good to have. You have DLC outfits, by the way. It includes canon persona. I don't know how to put those on, sorry. Here? Do we want to put them on? Nope. In the menu? Okay, it's gonna have to wait for next time then. Is this an example of it? Because we're seeing them this time. Yeah, like now we know that they have adventures that we didn't see before. Maybe it happened another time too, right? Similarly, what do you think about when stories feel like they take place over a long period of time, like when a series releases over several years, but when you think about it, the entire narrative takes place over a week or so? It feels very drawing to me. I don't like that, yeah. Although, sometimes it can feel kind of shit when the writer tries to incorporate the passage of time between releases in a way that is like, oh, the characters sat around, did nothing for 2 years, and now we're back with them, and it just matches up with the time that you had. It can also be drawing if you weren't into that series and you didn't have to experience that way, right? But sometimes it can work. It's all in how it's done, right? But I particularly like this when it's revealed that characters are having side stuff that you're not always there for, and they can tap that if they need to for later. What's the place perhaps when you look around the room? There's no sign of a letter or the rest of the envelope, in fact, is there? He ate it, he ate it. Ah, she's right. And yet, here we have the torn off end of an envelope. It just strikes me as unusual. I agree. We better take this, just in case. Okay, but Gregson's not here to confirm that. Okay, I guess maybe Herlock's words are fine. A ripped piece of an envelope that was found in Mr. Shamspeare's room. The rest of the envelope could not be located. Look at these extravagant, bright costumes. Somehow they look out of place in this room with its grim, shady goings-on. This one looks like a king's attire. King? I've always dreamt of being a king. It's good to be the king. Oh, I think you'd be more suited for a feudal lord. A daimyo? Or such like? Daimyo? Not sure how to say that word, sorry. With a chonmaga top knot? Every Japanese man wishes he had a chonmaga. Chonmage. Oh, you look wonderful with one, and you already have the sword. Can you imagine what would happen if I walked around the streets of London with a chonmage and a sword? As you've seen from the outside, the window is completely bricked up. A vestige of the former window tax that Britons had to pay. I remember that, yeah. What strange things they used to tax in Great Britain. I mean, making people pay for the number of windows they had in a property. It's extraordinary. It's heartbreaking to think of the poor having to block up the windows just to avoid an unaffordable tax. Oh, what is it, Miss Susato? If you look closely, a number of the bricks are loose. Interesting. Enough. More soap? More poison? Delicious soap? Oh, yes, it looks as though an amateur has broken out a few of them just here. Was it Mr. Shamspeare who did it, I wonder? Being the lodger renting this room? Was he like a black market soap dealer or something? Ah, look at this, Mr. Naruhodo. On the outside, there's a little ledge. And there's something on it. What, outside? It's so cold outside, you can feel it through this gap. Oh, it's not August, right? It was 4 months. It did snow all last night. It would be cold. But more importantly, what is it on the ledge out there? What are those snow-covered lumps? It's more bars of soap. Soap? What are bars of soap doing lined up on a ledge outside the window? I have no idea, but the pair of them look rather charming like that. Still, that's very strange, isn't it? Bars of soap lined up on the window outside. That's very strange, yeah. What the fuck has this got to do with anything? I think perhaps we should take one. There are 2 after all. Oh dear, I suppose we could. Oh, what's this? Look here at the soap. Ah. Do you see in the middle there? There's a patch that's a different color. It's sort of transparent, but some sort of fancy design, I suppose. Only in Great Britain. It looks like the Hinomaru flag of Japan, doesn't it? How wonderful. There used to be bars of soap that we had that had like a stamp on it for the brand or whatever. Huh. It's probably a very expensive brand. Expensive? Then what's it doing in this ramshackle old room? The bar of soap has been entered into the court record. A cheap bar of soap that was discovered just outside Mr. Shamspeare's window. It's one of 2 that were found there. Why is there soap out there? That's so strange. One of the teacups that Mr. Shamspeare and his guests drank from last night. But don't go drinking from them, Mr. Naruhodo. There's a bitter poison inside. I'm not planning on drinking any, don't worry. Anyway, the cups are both empty. That's true, so one was Mr. Shamspeare's, and the other must be the cup that Mr. Natsumi was drinking from. But Soseki-san wasn't poisoned, of course. Perhaps we should take these so we can examine them in more detail later. A pair of teacups has been entered in the court record. Okay, so this one is the green one. So the green one was the one that didn't have poison in it, presumably. Unless he was, like, dual-wielding cups and put it down and picked up his fork afterwards. Oh, the poor man, so young to die. Do you suppose it was a very painful death being poisoned as he was? I don't know. All we can do now is hope that he'll be reborn to a better life. Yes, I suppose you're right. I wonder. Do you think that putting our hands together in a Japanese prayer will help a British soul? Sorry? I made sure I had a reference at the ready just for such an occasion as this, actually. This book is entitled The Beginner's Guide to Praying for the Departed, the British Way. The British Way. I'll just reread it now. One moment. There's quite a spine on that book, isn't there? Really, we can't inspect the hat that's on the floor? And here we have another disproportionately large machine. This looks like a meter of some kind. Ah, this is a gas meter, I think. It seems that in this district, residents pay for gas as they use it with coins. Ah, I see. Yes, now that you pointed it out, I can see that there's a slot just here that looks like it would take a coin. So you mean if you put a coin in here... That's right, that would buy you about 2 hours of gas for lights and heating. So if you were a poor person with no money, you'd have to sleep in the freezing cold. How would these work? So it would be like the weight, the shape of the coin that goes in and it would register it, or maybe it would only take one kind of coin. Was it like a token instead of a coin that you had to buy? But how would it know when to turn off? The weight of the coin corresponds to like a valve opening and it slowly closes over time until it closes at some point? Because there'd be no like way to track it. Wonder how that would work. Yes, or if you were a scatterbrain with no change because you've forgotten to exchange your money at the bank. Thank goodness there's no meter in our office. Looks like you're having a good snoop around, eh? Inspector Gregson, but back so soon. We didn't look at the stage. After I threw that little Japanese fella in the clink, I went and reported this to the investigation division. In 5 minutes' time, this place will be cordoned off by the yard. Oh, I see. Well, you better be leaving then. Poor Mr. Natsumi must be feeling very low, being back in the cell again so soon. I'm sure we should What's wrong, Mr. Naruhodo? Yeah! Out, Brief Candle. Life's but a walking shadow, a poor player. That struts and frets his hour upon the stage, and then is heard no more. Now, how soundeth the next part? Eat the soap. It is a tale told by an idiot full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. Indeed, oh happy day! Whoa. Walking Dead! The fella isn't dead at all? You didn't check? What was that nonsense he was saying, though? I think, yes, it was from William Shakespeare's Macbeth. A soliloquy from Act 5, Scene 5. 5-5? Shakespeare. Under the So it was that the victim, Mr. William Shamspeare, came back to life. If the man had indeed been poisoned, it transpired that it hadn't killed him. He was taken by emergency carriage to a nearby hospital for treatment, and Inspector Gregson evicted us from the scene of the crime, whatever that now was. 21st of February, Briar Road. Whatever do you think will happen now? Good question. What a strange situation for Mr. Natsumi, arrested for murder, but then the victim comes back to life. He's still gonna be put on trial and the judge won't buy it, and Van Zieks is gonna be like, "Really be this, my learned Japanese friend? If there was no murder taking place, why are we having a trial? Yes, very good. Yes, answer that, defendant. I think perhaps the victim was never dead in the first place. It seems very likely that Mr. Shamspeare did consume poison, as we deduced. But was it an accident, attempted suicide, or attempted murder? Until the truth can be established, I imagine the police will keep Mr. Natsumi in custody. I suppose so. Let's hope it doesn't come to anything more than a night in the cells." Oh, what's this? What's that man doing over there? Looks like he's trying to see into Soseki-san's lodgings. He's trying to get the soap for soap delivery. Is something wrong, Mr. Naruhodo? Excuse me, could we have a word? Ah. Did his chin just do a stellar blade jiggle? He just ran off. I feel sure that I've seen that man somewhere before. Where was it? I do too, but I don't remember. The Gardev household and Mr. Natsumi's lodgings are in a prominent position there on the corner. Sometimes when I look at the building, I can't help feeling that it's at a bit of a slant. It does look rather as though it would collapse in even the smallest earthquake, doesn't it? And isn't it supposed to be haunted as well? I think I might have a hunch as to why Soseki-san has such a hunchback. Yeah, this looks like it's about to come down, huh? This thing right here? Yeah. There's always seems to be a bicycle outside the Gardev residence. I read that bicycles are extremely popular all over Great Britain at the moment, in fact. That one seems very warped, though, especially the front wheel. Is that to make it more of a challenge to ride, do you think? No, I'm afraid that may be a result of the rider's incompetence. For the front wheel to be so badly warped, I'm afraid the rider may have been similarly afflicted. Then there's a good chance Mr. Natsumi has been practicing on this bicycle, I think. Oh dear, I fear you may be right. Yeah, that's fucked up. With the exception of the top floor where Mr. and Mrs. Gardev live, all the windows are bricked up. Yes, that's because of an old window tax that was charged on the number of windows a property had. In order to pay less tax, the poorer members of society filled in many of their windows. But the tax has since been abolished, hasn't it? So the windows could all be opened up again, surely. Unfortunately, it would appear that the residents of this district can't afford to pay to have the work done. Yes, that is a sad state of affairs. Yeah, it's not just about taking the bricks away, you have to have the glass installed and everything too, right? Especially for people like poor Mr. Natsumi, who have to live all cooped up in a windowless room. I suppose that's the price you pay for living in very cheap accommodation. It all seems rather pointless when you put it like that. I was trying to, like, is that the soap? Did Soseki, oh, those windows are broken. Did Soseki say that he was in the apartment above it or below? Above, right? That looks like the soap. Maybe it's not. London's blanketed in fog again today, and the sky is covered in cloud. If you look carefully in the distance, you can just make out the Crystal Tower being built. Yeah. Ah, the Crystal Tower, yes. The centerpiece of the great exhibition that's to open in 6 months' time. Are you going to be back in time for that? Everyone's talking about the Great Exhibition of London at the moment, it seems. Well, it's to be the largest event of its kind anywhere in the world, with technology and scientists from all over. What kind of stupid sci-fi murder is gonna... I can't wait for it myself. Do you think visiting students from the Far East like us will be granted entry? Someone made a teleportation device and used it to kill someone. Proof that it doesn't work, counselor. How do you know? By the way, I went to the UK on holiday last month, and not only was the window tax real, apparently it was a thing in Ireland, and there's a post office or other government building with windows all bricked up. It's so stupid. Still they're bricked up? They still haven't fixed it. Wow. No, I skipped the line. Do you think visiting students from the Far East like us will be granted entry? The last Great Expedition was held in London, had more than 6 million visitors. Seems 6 million? I just skipped that line too. And this time, the British are determined to make it an even bigger success to outdo the Paris Exposition. Yep, gotta beat the French, yep. I see, that's an incredible number of people. And with so many people expected to attend, we should easily be able to slip in unnoticed. There's always the honest approach of buying tickets at the main entrance, Mr. Naruhodo. We should get paid for what we do. Where did Herlock go? Why has somebody built the snowman on some sort of pedestal, do you think? That's not a pedestal, Mr. Naruhodo. That's part of the snowman's body. Really? But it already has a perfectly good body. Well, it's true that British snowmen are usually made with 2 balls of snow. Perhaps this is a foreigner. Really? You know about the different types of places and their different snowmen? And now we're looking at him as if he's strange. Poor man, I know how he feels. If anything, it's Japanese and British 2-ball snowmen that are the strange ones, isn't it? After all, real people do have 3 sections: head, torso, and legs. Do you ever think that perhaps you think about things too much? Holy shit. Can I leave? Oh, I can just go. Holy oh my god, there's so many fucking locations. Okay, Mr. Shamspeare's room, Miss Green's hospital bed, Sholmes' suite, Naruhodo's legal consultancy, the Garadeb's room, prison. Okay, let's go to the new ones. Mr. Garadeb's room. "21st February, the Garadeb's room." Is this a tongue-in-cheek joke about how the snowmen was historically inaccurate in the last game? Yeah, someone wrote a very firmly worded letter about that and they needed to address it. Here we are again, the eccentric landlord's eccentric top floor abode. No more maid, though. We're here because Mr. Garadeb's the one who discovered the incident this morning, don't forget. Ah, you chaps, eh? Yes, good morning, sir. Thank you for your cooperation in court yesterday. It was quite a trial. As much for Mr. Garadeb as anyone, really. Came straight back here after all that business at the Bally yesterday. What? Didn't expect to wake up to more Bally nonsense this morning? Well, we know it wasn't him because he was a fucking member of the jury in a case afterwards. I wonder if you wouldn't mind telling us exactly what happened, Mr. Garadeb. Yes, I suppose you'd like to know all about that dead loss of an actor chap in the ground floor room. Those were exactly Inspector Gregson's words, weren't they? There's a single apron drying on that enormous cannon-shaped clothes horse. Look. No, Mr. Naruhodo, that's a real cannon. I knew that. I was just testing you. Real cannon. Piece of history, that is. Seen plenty of action on the battlefield, I can tell you. Now the old girl and I are just enjoying the peace and quiet of retirement together. And of course, she'd come in handy if the enemy decides to launch an attack again. Is there a war going on that I don't know about? There's always a war going on that you don't know about, bro. Oh, a copy of Rance magazine. The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes is being read all over London. Isn't it wonderful? Naturally, one asks oneself if such a singular detective could really exist. He's in the room with us right now. But having met the chap, it's undeniable. He is most certainly singular. Singularly dangerous. Oh, the carpet's still burnt in the back behind that room divider. That's genuine public opinion for you, Mr. Zato. Perhaps it should be reflected in the stories. Make no mistake, Mr. Naruhodo, I intend to snuff out the sort of public opinion we just heard, personally. I'm starting to see where Mr. Sholmes' untainted reputation comes from now. That's your military uniform, isn't it, Mr. Garrideb? Well, ceremonial garb, yes. Been hanging on the wall ever since my retirement bash. Not in active service now, you know? Doesn't mean much to me anymore. You could have the old thing if you wanted it. Okay. Well, it might suit Lord Van Deeks, perhaps. Boyfriend, an overly ostentatious outfit like this could be just what he needs. Very tactful, Miss Susato. Very tactful indeed. Yes, those enormous mortar shells. It's quite something seeing them up close and above a fucking fireplace. Didn't you say something about firing them into the barracks, Mr. Garrideb? Ah, you remember, do you? Just a little mishap that occurred during training one day. What are you doing firing on your own men? The captain bellowed at me. I'm not surprised a little mishap doesn't really do it justice, does it? Ryu's always firing upon his own men. Well, one has these little incidents when one's a hot-headed young private. Perhaps I should put some evidence that resulted from one of my little mishaps on display. Oh god. Oh, does the great lawyer, like the great detective, want to exhibit some trophies of his finest moments? Good to see Mr. Garrideb's Medal of Honor still proudly displayed on the wall. The description reads, for distinguished participation, if you remember. Yes, I remember, because I remember thinking even I might stand a chance of picking up honors like that. Wouldn't know what to look at me now, perhaps, but I had my devil-may-care days, you know? Devil-may-care? What did you get up to? Well, all in the past now, of course, and best left there. Best not. I want to know now. You look very dashing in uniform there, Mr. Garrideb. That old portrait, eh? Drawn by an art student who used to rent the room downstairs. No. Oh, you look so wonderfully young and courageous and strong. Yes, well, the chap presented it to me one day and asked if I'd let him off the month's rent in return. Oh, chap, okay. Oh, I see. So you did. So you did, presumably? Maybe a friend of Crawling Ollie's? I bally well did not. Oh. Portrait is a portrait, but rent is rent, eh? Yet it's still there proudly on the wall. We know that what that screen is hiding now. The aftermath of the fiery altercation the other day. Humph. Don't suppose I'll be able to clear that mess up for sometime now? He's kind of drifting into the judge, sorry. Oh dear, this must be a difficult situation for you. I'll say, people talk about twists of fate and whatnot. But this is a twist and a half, a rotten show all around. He's clearly struggling with everything that's happened. Okay, we don't need to investigate everything there. If chat wants me to investigate that over there, oh yeah. If it's interesting, let me know. But we're gonna talk to him. This morning's incident. It must have been a real shock for you this morning. I hear that you discovered what had happened. Ah, well, that hopeless actor chap rises at 5 o'clock sharp every morning without fail. But at 5:30 this morning, he still hadn't lit the gas. So I went down and knocked on his door, but no bally answer. That's crazy behavior. And that's when you broke into his room by kicking down the door? Well, I called on that rum-looking Japanese chap to do the grunt work, of course. Wasn't it a little premature to kick the door down? The man could have just overslept by half an hour. That's very true, Mr. Naruhodo. In 30 minutes oversleeping warranted such behavior. I'd have to kick your door down every morning. Well, you know, better to be safe than sorry and all that. Is it just me, or is he avoiding our gaze now all of a sudden? Except that it was a sorry situation indeed that you found on the far side of the door. What's going on here? The victim's name is Mr. Shamspear, I believe. Is that right? Yes, William Shamspear. Took the ground floor room 3 months ago now. And how would you describe him? I could have swore that it was Soseki that was on the ground floor in the first game, but I'm guessing what it was is that it said that he was in a unit below where they are, and I just thought that there was only 2 floors, but it's not. It's 3 floors. There's a whole other ass thing above the apartments that have the windows bricked up, right? So that's probably why. In a word, destitute. Destitute? Destitute? Well, let's face it, the only redeeming feature of that room is the cheap rent. Anyone who wants to live in a place like that is either broke or has a bally screw loose. Bro, you rent them. It's so hard to choose which category Soseki-san would fall into. Mr. Naruhodo, that's a little rude. He was doing research as well. Research? Soseki's on the first floor, which is above the ground floor. I don't buy into this bullshit. First floor and ground floor are the same thing. When you walk in a ground level, that's the first floor that you're on. When you go upstairs, you're now on the second floor. It's fucking bullshit. Research into what? Shakespeare, of course. Shakespeare. Read a few plays of the old bard myself, you know, Romeo and Hamlet and all that. Yes, William Shakespeare is England's most highly regarded classical playwright and author. He's known as Sao in Japanese, as you know, and many of his works have already been translated. It seems incredible that Shakespeare was shortened to Sao, though. Someone was too heavy-handed there. There were a lot of costumes in the victim's room, actually, weren't there? Of course, Mr. Natsumi is a scholar of English literature as well. I imagine he and Mr. Shamspeare would have had much in common. That's true, actually. That's a good point. I didn't think of that because I'm so fucking tired. Yeah, okay. Shakespeare interpretation disagreement leads to shocking murder. Let's hope it's not that. Let's hope it is. Shakespeare disagreement leads to soap eating. Mr. Naruhodo, really? How rude. I love Susie. After Mr. Natsumi's trial yesterday, you came straight back here, I believe, didn't you? Did you notice anything strange between then and this morning? Well now, must have been about 6 in the evening by the time I got home. Snow was coming down rather heavily as I remember, and it was completely dark already, what? That failed actor chap was out at the time. Mr. Garadeb noticed there was no light from his room or something, I suppose. Couldn't summon the energy for anything much, so I just sat in front of the fire up here and cried. It was after 8 before Shamspeare got back, and the chap was up until past 1 in the morning, I'll have you know. How are you just aware of all the goings on in the building, bro? Suppose he met his end sometime after that. I was asleep by then, so I'm rather in the dark there. Well, thank you. That was very illuminating. No, it was dark. Is everything alright, Miss Susato? Well, I was just thinking it's a little strange, that's all, that we haven't told Mr. Garadeb that the guy isn't actually dead, and we're just letting him still believe that someone died in his building, you know, the day after his wife was arrested for prison, for murder, not for prison. Holy shit. What are we doing? Mr. Garadeb, you were here, you were up here in your room all evening, if I've understood correctly? Arrested for prison. Not a big fan of stairs, not with this blasted leg. Then how do you know when people are coming and going? Can you just hear? Then, how is it that you seem to know? The precise yeah, here we go, it's me and Susie. The precise movements of your tenant on the ground floor, I mean. Well, he has a camera system set up to his TV. They had TVs in England in the late 1800s. They also had a subway system, so yeah. That's a very good point. I can't imagine that you could hear noises from the ground floor all the way up here. Does this old man like to spy on his tenants? Is that it? Oh, there was a line about he was spying on Soseki in the first game too that was never really resolved, right? I say, I know what you're thinking, and it's a bally outrage. I'm ex-military, don't you know? I don't go around spying on my tenants. Why would I? I have spies to do that. Then how do you know, Mr. Garadeb? It's the gas woman! The gas tells me everything! The gas? Speaking gas? What on earth do you mean, sir? How can the gas tell you anything, let alone everything? It's the rat prophet in the gas? Well, as you're probably aware, the gas is supplied to the building by pipes. Yes, I'd more or less worked that out. Every room in the building is connected by a single pipe to the gas main outside, and the gas company supplies gas to properties via the main. Yes, I understand that too. No book for that one. Let me see if I can explain. Let's say I was to light the gas lamps up here. What do you suppose would happen? Well, obviously the room would get brighter. Genius, are you? Exactly, but at the same time, the lights in all the other rooms of the house would dim for a moment. What? They dim? Why? Perhaps it's because when you light a gas lamp, it briefly uses more gas than usual, so that reduces the amount of gas in the pipe for the other lamps that are connected to it. This makes sense, and this is a very clever observation to use in a story, actually. That's cool. That might explain why the other lamps dim momentarily, mightn't it? Yes, of course, because everything's connected to a single supply pipe. Does this happen in one of the Sherlock Holmes stories, and this is a reference to it, or what? Is that supposed to happen, though? It sounds rather undesirable. Jolly good point. Fact is, the gas company's pipes in these parts are pretty hopeless, long worn out. We barely got any gas in them now to start with. Oh, fucking hell, it's dangerous. Opposite's also true, of course. Extinguish the lamps up here and they grow brighter in the rest of the house. Ah, right, I see. So by watching the flickering of the lamps in one room, you can determine what's happening elsewhere. You've got it. Oh, of course. Because when people come back home in the evening and before they go to sleep at night, what they're guaranteed to do is either light or put out their lamps and fires. Clever. In point of fact, the room on the ground floor and the one above it use slightly different amounts of gas. By watching the lights in here closely, I can work out almost exactly what's going on in the whole house. Yeah, okay, bro. Gosh, that's fascinating, Mr. Garydeb. Absolutely fascinating. Let's hear about it for 5 more minutes. Oh well, nothing to it really. What? I can't really see that it's going to help us with the case either. What I'd like to know is why Mr. Garydeb is so interested in what his tenants are up to in the first place. He's a landlord. He's nosy as fuck. I feel like there's more to it than idle curiosity. It's probably just idle curiosity. Well, we've done as much investigating here as we can, I think. Perhaps we ought to go to the prison and speak with Mr. Natsumi again. Good idea. When you're retired, you start to obsess with random shit. I wonder what I'm going to obsess about when I'm retired. Huh. What did it say? Where did it say to go? Prison? We're going to prison. Bunnies? No, it can't be something I'm currently obsessing over. The 21st of February, local prison, cell 9. Want, want. Look, Mr. Naruhodo. Mr. Natsumi, have the police finished questioning you now? Locum student, Mr. Naruhodo, Esquire. Oh, yes? What is he? What is he? Tell me, is he a ghost? Is he here to haunt me? Let me guess, you're talking about Mr. Sholmes? He actually calls himself a great detective, Mr. Natsumi, not a ghost. But his diabolical deductions, they're not of this world. They've left me. Here we go. Ah, cursed. I'm cursed, I tell you. Well, that sort of hurts. Credit where credit is due, Mr. Naruhodo. You were heavily involved in the abduction too. Let's tell him the guy's still alive. Let's go. Yes, moving on. We have some wonderful news. Oh. The victim that we all thought was dead has come back to life again. Now, in the absolute worst case, you could only be tried for attempted murder. That's great, isn't it, Mr. Natsumi? It's terrible! Oh! I'm stuck in the cell, suffering for some silly wrong end of the stick. So you were trying to kill him. You did it, didn't you? Confess, you're a killer. Why the mustache? Constant questions! I'm sorry to hear that. That selfish shyster. Shyster? Make up your mind. Are you dead or alive? If you were going to come back to life, why bother dying? wickedly wishy-washy William. Well, it seems likely that Mr. Shamspear was never actually dead in the first place. Ah, yes, that might make sense, and I'm pleased that he's alive, of course. Our lively debate last night was much fun. I'd be sad to think it was our last. Oh. Oops. Mr. Natsumi, does this mean that you did see the victim last night? You met with Mr. Shamspear, didn't you? I'm not saying another word. I demand to have a lawyer present. Who do you think I am? I'm a lawyer. And please, Mr. Natsumi, we need to hear your side of the story. Why am I cursed like this? Whoa, major deja vu right now. Holy shit. Whoa. What happens? Oh, damn. Can you tell us exactly what happened last night then, Mr. Natsumi? There's nothing to tell. But, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire, I'm eternally grateful to you for helping me with that accursed case yesterday. The case that saw poor Miss Green hospitalized after she ended up with a knife in her back. Poor Ollie. It's hard to believe that was only yesterday. After the trial was over, I trudged my weary way back to my lowly lodgings. And that evening, at past 9, I visited Mr. Shamspear. So you did go to the victim's room then? As we feared. I didn't do anything wrong. I'd never been to his room before. It was the first time. Then what made you decide to go? I was hungry for soap. I bumped into him when I arrived back at the house. We got chatting and it developed into a discussion. But he had to go out, so I bade him farewell. That ties in with what Mr. Garadeb said, that the victim went out and came back again after 8. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, okay, track so far. We met again later that evening at around 9, or just after, when I took him some nice tea I brewed as a gift. So it was you who brought the tea that had clearly been drunk at the scene then. And I suppose you were discussing the works of Shakespeare, were you? Yes, that's right. That's exactly right. Romeo and Juliet. Who was the stronger? It was a delightful debate. I'm sure. Such a stimulating subject, Shakespeare. And the debate became very heated, so you slipped poison to Mr. Shamspear's tea. No, never, not at all. Team Juliet won, that was me, and when I left his room, the flamboyant fellow was fighting fit, I swear it, categorically. Maybe the soap is poisoned. Cursed existence. Mr. Natsumi, you often say the same thing about yourself, I've noticed. That you have a cursed existence. I'm sure I've mentioned this to you before, but I've been here in Great Britain for a year now, and in that time, I've learned that it's no place for me. It can be very trying to live in a foreign land and adapt to the ways of another culture. There are foreigners everywhere I look, and they all stare at me, they all laugh. That's the impression I get whenever I go out. It makes me scared to leave my room. Which is why I've become a recluse. And even a spider? And even in my room, I find no respite for my fears. I've moved more times than I can remember, and then 1 week ago, I moved into Briar Road. You've only been there a week? But why? I mean, why did you choose that place? It doesn't seem very comfortable. Because the rent is cheap. I have so little money, it spoke to me. The rent? Obviously, there's a reason why it's cheap. Because the room is cursed. Cursed? Cursed how? We went through this last time, didn't we? The previous occupant, the man who lived there before I took the room, died there. Oh no! He was only a young man, but one morning he was found dead and no one could explain why. Surely no one would want to live in a room with a history like that. Huh, is this gonna be important? Poison wafting up through the floorboards from the poison soap concoction sessions or something? I don't know. Oh, thank you, Arara de Torno, for the 48 months, 21 minutes ago, so I didn't seal it now. Hey Joe, catching up on the metaphor streams, enjoying them a lot. I love the well poisoning bit, especially when chat tries to poison the Fire Emblem 3 Houses well when its water vein will probably only open like 3 years from now. Can't wait for Fortune's Weave. Hope you enjoy it, Ara Detorno. Thank you very much for the message and the resub. And thank you to Ken's DG for the 2 months also. So excited for Ace Attorney to be back. Finished my dissertation and my degree a few weeks ago now. Oh, congratulations! And my results arrive in about a week. Nerve-wracking, but also exciting. I'm sure you did fine. Hoping for the best. Thanks for the amazing content as always. Are you very welcome? Glad you're enjoying it. Hope we can kill some time for you with this and the Mina VODs maybe, so it passes fast as you get your results. 3 Houses never. I am hyped for Fortune Weave. Same person said this. I didn't. When the letting agent recommended the place, I wavered. But I want books, and books cost money. A horrible history is a small price to pay. When I realized it would mean I could buy more books, I signed the lease like lightning. Brave or blinkered? Blinkered, you say? But after I moved in, I soon can realize what I'd done. What I'd done? I realized how horrible that room's history really was. Oh, we didn't feed the cat. Gosh, was it really so awful? How did the room's horrible history affect you, Mr. Natsumi? What happened? We all agree dogs are better than cats, right? We can all agree on that, right? As a community? For sure. At first, though, it was just a feeling. The feeling of beady eyes boring into my back, watching me. Do you think that might have just been your mind playing tricks on you? No. My mind doesn't know any tricks. It was someone else. It's been one long nightmare ever since I was given the keys to the place. A nightmare? You've been having bad dreams, you mean? All the souls who've died in that room lean over me in my sleep. And try to strangle me. Whoa. That really is horrible. So, and now, come to think of it, it happened again last night, too. The very same night that Mr. Shamster was writhing in agony from the poison in his body, I was on the verge of being suffocated silently by those miserable spirits in my room. Okay, so there's a gas leak? That's it. That's why there's barely any gas in the pipes. What? It's just a gas leak. You simply must move out of that room as soon as possible. Yes, you're right. I know it. And that's why. I'm already searching for the next room with a history to call home. I think perhaps you should try to avoid accommodation with any kind of history at all. Otherwise, I'm scared that you yourself may become history. Whoa! Damn, she has so many cold lines today. Phew, Suzato-san knows how to make the man listen. Of course. Mr. Lord of the Manor is worried about the curse on my room as well. You mean Mr. Garadeb? The Lord of the Manor wants a dog. The Lord of the Manor gets a dog. Yes, he knows that if people keep dying there, he'll never be able to rent it out again. Well, that's true. I, for one, wouldn't go near the place. Ah, perhaps. That may explain why the landlord pays so much attention to the gas lamps and his tenants' movements. You mean because he's worried about their well-being? I think maybe he knows there's a leak and he's making sure that they don't die. He does seem to have an unusually keen interest in the amount of gas in the pipes. There must be a reason why he keeps such close tabs on the occupants in his let rooms. What do you mean he pays so much attention to the gas lamps? Oh dear, no, it's nothing to do with you, Mr. Natsumi. Please, forget I said anything. Oh, now you're talking about me behind my back as well. What's important is that Mr. Shamspear isn't in fact dead at all. Once he's come round and he's able to tell us what happened, we'll be able to get you released. Yes, please. I do hope you're right. At one point, you're going to speak nothing but bits and references and side jokes. Excuse me. Inspector Gregson. Inspector Gregson! I couldn't help overhearing what you just said, and on that note, I have some good news and some bad news. Oh. Which do you want first? The bad news. Always, every time, the bad news comes first. Yeah, for sure. When hope is all you have, hold on to it. That's my guiding principle. Right, well, in that case, the good news it is. Huh? Sorry, but it's just a lot easier to explain everything that way. Why'd you give us the option then? Yeah, why'd you ask me our preference? As you might have heard, the victim, Mr. Shamspear, was just unconscious. He's come round now. Like Nanako. Yes, we saw it happen in all of its terrifying glory. He's still being treated by the doctors, but we've managed to get a written statement from him already. Oh, isn't that wonderful, Mr. Natsumi? Oh, thank goodness. It's all over then. I can leave this somber cell. Sorry, no, that's not on the cards. What? Why ever not, Inspector? Mr. Shamspear has implicated someone as being responsible for what happened last night. Implicated someone? Oh dear. You don't mean? I'm sorry to say I do, yes. He's pointed the finger at you, Mr. Natsumi. Wait, what? By sweet poison did he seeketh to end my life. That wickedest caitiff, Sosuke Natsumi. And he's speaking metaphorically about the poison of the argument that was had, and like how it made him upset and, you know, ruined his night because he's an idiot and doesn't understand the situation that he's in. And we're gonna be fucking 5 hours into the trial when he realizes that Natsumi is on trial for attempted murder and not for bad opinion policing. Like, no. So I'm afraid you'll be appearing in court as planned. You'll be wanting to make the necessary preparations. No. And so, once again, Soseki-san found himself having to take the dock in the Old Bailey. The Old Bailey! Whether his room was haunted or whether he was just terribly unlucky, I knew I had no choice. The following day, I would represent him in court and do my utmost to break the curse that blighted him. To be continued. Kind of an eerily perfect stopping point. Yeah, I think I could probably power through another hour, but I am very, very tired. So I think maybe that we were just gifted this at exactly an hour, and I think that we should probably stop here just in case. Because I am kind of... I'm not nodding off, but I am pretty tired. And I was doing some automatic reading there for a bit, which is kind of scary after last week. Oh, thank you to Calamari for the 16 months also. Joe Soseki now gives me Himiko vibes. Yeah? It's Soseki. How many fingers am I holding up? 3. Anyway, sorry for the shorter stream, and thank you to sorry for the missed streams last week as well. For the Pathologic 2 bros, we might do a stream on Saturday and Sunday to make up for it, which means we might finish it actually. But I also don't know if we're starting Road to Empress 2 on Saturday on Walrus' stream. I'm not sure. I think I have some DMs from Walrus I haven't read just yet, so I'm not sure if we're going to be doing that this Saturday or if it's next Saturday. I think we said the week after it came out. I think that's what we talked about, but I don't know. The second one is out. Yeah, it just came out. So lots of streams. I also might stream Mina the Hollower again if I wake up early enough to do it before tomorrow's stream, because I'm enjoying playing that and I want to finish it. I think I'm close to the end, so it might be double streams for all. So lots of streaming this week, sorry, which is good because that'll like build up a buffer of like I've done some streams and made money for the time I might have to take off at the end of the month for moving. It could be next month. Yeah. Walrus said they weren't free this Saturday, but to confirm with them, of course. Okay, so it's probably gonna be next week then. So you could probably do Pathologic streams on Saturday and Sunday, and try to finish it. Anyway, anyone for the community live, or are we done? How many Januaries did you do? I think we've done 4, close to 5. Hope you find an awesome place. I don't know if we're going to, yeah. Hope so. Crude oil, apparently. Timberborn. Oh, I want to try Timberborn. That looks interesting to me. Awesome place in mountain. This apartment I have is actually really nice. It's spacious. It's well looked after. The floors aren't slanted and it's not falling down. Outside is pretty bad. The back deck is not the most sturdy, and the front steps are kind of falling apart too. But the inside is really, really well kept. It's just a shame about it being shared with neighbors upstairs and downstairs. Anyway, so this was a bit slower paced than the first case so far, but that's just to be expected. I will say again, sorry to sound like a broken record, but the examinations of the scenes is my least favorite part of the series. I feel like there's way too much to read. If you are reading everything, it grinds the pacing to a crawl. But what if there's some good lines? And sometimes there are some good lines, so I do want to see them. Reading it out loud is also making it go slower. It's not awful by any means. Like it's just that it is my least favorite part. Like I like the conversations before the investigation starts, and I also like the trials. The trials are really, really fun. So yeah. Anyway, rate's going through. See you tomorrow for more of this. And that's it. Thank you very much for watching. Sorry for the short stream. See you later.